Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Join me every Thursday at 1 p.m. exclusively on the Odyssey app as we go live with Odyssey. Join in on the action as we cover interesting facts, top 10 lists, and some fun new games. Follow the Men's Room page on the Odyssey app and join in all the fun Thursday afternoons at 1.
Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the Men's Room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the Men's Room.
And away we go. Welcome to Season 18, episode number 3855. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, and Mike Hawk. Montgomery! And you are the Men's Room. On tap today from Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, Comes a Fall and Mad Fly. Lead singer of Alice in Chains, William Duvall, joins us on the program. We will play Profile This, plus headlines, a Men's Room shot of the day, fun with listener emails, and everyone's favorite, TV Time with Ted.
Click, clap,
drink it, they drunk. All right, here we go. A homeowner opens the door to a beating by a naked woman holding a frying pan. Meanwhile, a man handing out chocolates on Random Acts of Kindness Day gets thrown in the can. Cocaine leopard showing soon at the Cincinnati Zoo. An SUV makes shore with a podcast and gets a front row view. And a drunk driver complains to police about their pesky bright lights. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, earlier this week, our very own Mike Hawk brought us a story about the Florida man who opened his front door and was promptly bitten by an 8-foot alligator. Then grabbed his left leg, left him with puncture wounds and a huge tear near his knee. Now, it could have been worse. Like the surfer in England who had his leg snapped in two when he was attacked by, not a shark, a seal. And in my mind, I keep picturing the singer seal snapping the surfer's leg in half. Now, it's not always animals that bring the pain. Sometimes the universe itself just doesn't like you. A woman in Alabama was injured when a meteorite hit her in the hip. A meteorite. The odds of you, as an individual, getting hit by a meteorite are so low that it's hard to find an actual statistic. So far, we can say 1. Nevertheless, Ann Hodges, she was in fact hit in the hip by a space rock. Now, when space rocks and animals aren't inflicting the damage, well, a lot of times the culprit is ourselves. We've all had those moments when we ignore common sense and pursue the stupid. A man in Georgia is a shining example of this. He fired a gun at a lawnmower that was packed with explosives. The explosives, as the name suggests, exploded and blew his leg off. So listen, yesterday we asked what happened to your face or head. Today, well, we go below the belt. We want to know what happened from the waist down.
Be part of the big show. Call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive.
You diet, you work out, and still there's that one stubborn spot. Hey, it's Jason. I just went after my stubborn fat by doing cool sculpting at Tureen Dermatology, Minnesota's top cool sculpting provider. Dr. Tureen is my dermatologist. We froze my fat, and those fat cells are gone for good. FDA approved. No pain, no downtime. Ranked top doctor 8 years in a row. Trust the experts at Tureen Dermatology. Call today, 651-633-6883, and say goodbye to stubborn fat.
Love the skin you're in with Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa's facial services. Enjoy the tranquility and deep relaxation while giving your skin a rejuvenating glow. All facials are tailored to your individual needs using the highest quality ingredients designed to give you healthy, radiant, and younger-looking skin. Visit any one of their 8 Seattle Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
On. You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Home and Charles, away we go. Welcome to Season 18, Episode number 3,855. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. From the band known as Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, Comes a Fall, and Madfly. Lead singer of Alice in Chains, William Duvall, joins us on the program.
Also known as William.
William Duvall.
William Duvall, that's
Not
correct.
sure exactly what William is up to these days. I do know a couple of projects that he's been working on right before the pandemic. He did release a solo album. That was 2019. Right. Really didn't have a chance to go out on tour or do anything with that. And then, of course, Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, which was formed just before the pandemic when Alice in Chains was taking a break. Once again, they planned on going on tour. Yep. Then COVID hit them. But we do know that William is now involved with a band known as The Who. And you say, well, I know the band known as The Who. This is a different Who.
Oh.
This is a Mongolian kind of, they call it Mongolian throat rock.
Right, Mongolian throat singing.
Yes, correct.
Right.
These guys are unbelievable. I have seen them at the Paramount. They opened up for Baby Metal probably 4 or 5 years ago. Went there with Castle, saw that show. They are amazing. I mean, they are a fantastic band. They do not speak a word of English. So We'll have to ask William how this all went down, but I do know for a fact.
You think he knows Mongolian?
That he's doing lead vocals on a track with them. I don't think he's singing in Mongolian. I don't know. We'll ask him, but...
Well, no, I think if he's going to do that, William, have some respect, sing in Mongolian. Brush up on your Mongolian, man.
And I believe Alice in Chains is in a bit of a break right now with Jerry Cantrell out on a solo tour and everything else. And as you know, everything comes back around again. So I'm sure Alice in Chains has got something in the works. But in the meantime, William Duvall working with The Who. So we'll talk to him about that project and what else he's been up to. I know for a fact one of the best things that I thought that came out of the pandemic were all the bands that were doing everything remotely at home, playing individual parts.
Couch
riffs, and coming together and creating some incredible music. One of my favorites from the Couch Riffs is a version of The Highwaymen, which featured Ben Shepherd. It also featured Doug McKagan.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Lanigan is doing the Johnny Cash parts. But William Duvall was involved in one of those videos where they covered Rod Stewart and Young Turks. And if we can get the go-ahead from Brian Castle, maybe we'll be able to play that coming up when we do the William Duvall interview.
Why don't we do it? Get you on that later. It just saves time.
That's a good point.
It really does. We just played the song.
Did you guys just play that?
Yes, we did.
Did you play Young Turks from Rod Stewart? We sure did. But it was William Duvall. See, we just interviewed him.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
It's it is an amazing version that they did of that song. That is not an easy song to cover, and they absolutely nailed it. What else do we have for you today? As we do every Monday through Friday, we head on over exclusively to the Odyssey app for the Men's Room Happy Hour. Search for the Men's Room Happy Hour channel. When you find that, know that we go live on that channel at 6 o'clock, 5 nights a week, Monday through Friday. You get more Men's men's room, there's a reason that it is labeled explicit based on the language we're allowed to use there and the content. And today on the men's room happy hour, I've got some annoying myths that people still believe to be true, that they cling to as truth.
All right.
But really, in fact, they're just old wives' tales, I guess is the best way you can put it. Kind of like when your mom told you that if cows lay down, it's going to rain.
It's going to rain. They're laying down.
I never heard that one before, but there were plenty of things before you could fact check anything on the internet.
Of course.
And actually find out if these myths are true. Did Rod Stewart really do that at a concert in St. Louis or whatever? Did Richard Gere really do that? And all the answers all no.
Mama Cass didn't really die choking on a sandwich.
All these things, correct. So we have some of those coming up. We'll find out what you guys think, if they are true or not, with the Men's Room Happy Hour. By the way, the more you listen to the Odyssey app, when you're on there, be sure to sign in every time. That gives you a chance to win tickets if you listen to all 4 hours of our show today on the app. That means you'll be entered 4 different times and a chance to win tickets to see KISS at Climate Pledge Arena. We did get an email, because we were talking about this yesterday, concerning the fact that wasn't it impressive that those guys, as old as they are, in their 70s, still out on tour, still wearing, hundreds of pounds, basically, of, costumes and everything else, that they all have their hair. And someone wrote in on an email and said, hey,
they don't.
Gene Simmons is bald. Ace Frehley is bald. Paul Stanley is loose. Either way, I never knew that from looking. When I look at Gene Simmons, I kind of just figured that was his hair. It doesn't look like a wig or anything else. I have no idea.
Sure.
But he says that...
Give you $1 to snatch it off his head.
KISS tickets. Every single hour you listen on the Odyssey app, you will be entered for a chance to win those. And today on the question, yesterday we got into a little face and head discussion about things that have happened to you. We've got some emails from guys that were involved in motorcycle crashes. One guy in particular sent us some pretty gnarly pictures.
Yes.
He was involved in a motorcycle crash in a non-helmet law state. So I don't believe he was wearing his helmet, and a lot of his face was gone. And
that was brutal.
A lot of stitches there and everything else. So today we focus below the belt a little bit more. Now, when we say below the belt, that can mean a lot of different things. Look where your waistline is. Go down. That is below the belt. Things happen to your butt. Things happen to your genitalia. Things happen to your legs, your feet, your ankles, and everything else. So we start in Daytona Beach with a story that the Mike brought us in headlines. Scott Hollingsworth, he heard some noises outside of his front door on Saturday night. Thought his teenage son might be sneaking in or out of the house. He could not have been more wrong. He took one step out onto his front porch, illuminated only by the glare of the television screen, and suddenly felt a set of powerful jaws grip into his left leg. Instantly, something grabs my leg, starts shaking it violently, really hard, he said while recovering at his home in Daytona Beach. I look down. There's no light, just having the TV on. So we have no lights there. Just this black mass of a body that you could see. My first thought was, that is one big dog.
That's a mighty big dog.
After the animal released him, Hollingsworth turned on the lights. Soon as it released, I stepped back and flipped the lights on and saw the alligator sitting right here on the porch. Police said the 58-year-old man was attacked Saturday night around 10 o'clock at night. Officials said the alligator was caught by a state-licensed trapper, Curtis Lucas. He was brought in. He euthanized the alligator, according to police. Alligators, they say, especially male ones, are out a lot more now because of mating season. So they're out kind of cruising around. They're hunting for females. They're doing it at night. Apparently that's when they roam.
Why does it seem like pretty much every animal has like one mating season per year? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, as a human being, mating season is whenever you can get some ass, right? I think we all agreed that that's just kind of how we worked. But imagine your life if it's like, hey, man, it's April, so listen, I'm going to be really aggressive. I apologize for my upcoming behavior. It's mating season.
Right. Well, the alligator was about an 8-footer. He said he didn't have much time or opportunity to process what had actually happened to him, except to realize that there was an alligator sprawled out on the front porch. Oh, crap, a gator just bit me. That was his first thought. I stepped back inside, closed the door, started to assess just how bad the situation was. And he looked at his leg, and it was not good. To this side, it's all puncture wounds, but this side, I had a huge, big tear, pointing to the left leg near his knee. His wife, Julie, called 911. Oh, my God, she can be heard saying. My husband opened the door, and there was an alligator, and it bit him. His wife told the dispatcher. He's bleeding up above the knee. It's a very deep gash. His leg was properly cared for by medical staff. Hollingsworth is not having too much pain at the time. He keeps thinking that the situation could have been a lot more dangerous or worse. It could have been a lot worse if my wife had come out here or my son. I think the fact that I'm a little bigger and have more stability is a good thing that the alligator did not take me down.
Yeah, it's a good thing when an alligator does not take you down.
Right. Now we head to the UK, and as we read this story yesterday, Ted, I believe the first words out of your mouth was, what in the hell was this guy doing surfing in Cornwall, England?
I didn't know people surf there.
Like I said, I know the waves are great, but that water has to be some of the coldest, right? The North Atlantic.
Mm-hmm.
And rough.
Absolutely.
And it's all rocks. It's not like it's sandy beaches there, man. I mean, these are giant stones and crashing waves.
And you get an idea of what happened to this guy based on exactly what you're saying. So they say surfers assume a considerable risk when they paddle out. However, getting attacked by a seal probably isn't on your bingo card when discussing injuries while surfing. Sadly, that's what happened to a surfer in the UK. It's going to be some time before Nathan Phillips gets back on his board again. He broke his leg after a seal attacked him while surfing in Cornwall over the weekend.
A seal? That's not even cool.
He is a local legend in the surfing community there, 42 years old. He said the horrific tragedy occurred as a seal kept harassing him. The mammal reportedly went after the board's leash as some major swell crashed into Phillips. Then, in a gut-wrenching moment, he felt his left foot hit the back of his leg as it snapped clean in two. Luckily, his friend was there to rescue him, paddle him back a mile to land to get medical attention. Back to what you were saying about the rocks. The breakers out there are so far.
It's insane, yeah.
That you have to go and get that far out even before you can find a break, a surf, in a safe place that it's not going to crash you into the rocks, right? So speaking from his hospital bed, Phillips said his friend assumed his board had snapped after hearing the sound. However, when his foot hit the back of his leg, he started screaming in pain. He knew he was in trouble. Once on shore, it only got worse for Phillips.
Oh, good.
I sat there for maybe 40 minutes, was eventually treated by medics, he said, about waiting what felt like a lifetime for medical personnel. It was so painful. And I had to wait even longer in my mate's van while I waited for an ambulance after I could not fit into the helicopter that they sent.
Come on.
As Phillips waits for his surgery, well, basically what happened was this. They got a call. One of their bigger helicopters was already out picking someone up. They had a backup. It was smaller. This guy is 6'2", sprawled out in the gurney. He could not get into the helicopter that they brought. It's not like
he's Shaquille O'Neal. He's 6'2".
I know that.
I mean, my God.
Yeah, he says he's just thankful for the support he's received. His mates, Alec and Jason, set up a GoFundMe, which has since raised several $1,000s to help the friend financially as he enters what's going to be a long road to recovery. Not only is this guy known for his surfing, he's also made a name for himself for his charitable nature. In 2021, he donated surfboards to a young teen and his dad after they were in a car that caught on fire. The surfing community is obviously coming together to prop up one of their buddies, with many people donating money so that he can receive surgery on his leg, which he still has not received.
Jesus, dude.
I mean, I guess I will say, I just looked at it. I didn't realize Cornwall is like the southern part of England. So maybe it's a little warmer, but it's also famous for its sheer cliffs and rocks.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And I believe that we got a picture from a listener, Daniel, from his mother. When we sent him a signed picture, Daniel is a big fan of the show. Used to be. I don't know if he listens still. It's probably 5-6 years ago, but he is the official men's room fan club president of Cornwall, England.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, it's a nice pick and everything else. So we know we have one listener, or did have one listener in Cornwall.
We got a few Jedi and a guy in Cornwall.
Our question, what happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Oh, we got another British listener. We got Ron up there in Northern Ireland.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yep. Right.
So not England, but
he would say
part of the British.
Good enough, man.
Yeah.
Good enough. We'll
he's
take
part of the empire.
And we have, the one guy in Australia, right?
Yeah, and then there's
a couple guys.
Sean used to live in Wales, but I think he's in England now.
Yeah, he always just puts England.
And then we got somebody in Australia, right?
Yeah, a couple
we got Aaron down in Australia.
That's right.
He hooks us up with their, what's it called?
Lovely Australian candies and chocolates.
All of them.
Actually, yeah, they're all pretty good.
I still think the picnic bar is the king.
What was it again?
The picnic bar.
The picnic bar? I think I had one of those. I think that was the best.
Those ones disappeared pretty quickly, as Mike and I really liked them. And after like 2 days, you guys weren't eating them. I was like, Mike, I'm taking some.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Our question, what happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dennis. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
Hey, a long-time fan and first-time caller.
Well, thank you, man. We appreciate that.
Really quick, the topic last week was what's the worst thing you can do? And a guy had called in saying he was moving to Maryland.
Yeah.
And it made me laugh because I'm moving to Maryland at the end of the month. So,
where in Maryland are you moving?
My wife's mother lives in Glen Burnie.
Oh, boy.
Oh, get out of here.
I know Glen.
Oh,
Do
Glen
yourself
Burnie.
a favor. Count the number of teeth in any one person's mouth and do a mean average. I'm saying Glen Burnie, Maryland, it's about 18 teeth per person.
There's a couple things you're going to need to know, because I lived there for a substantial amount of time, probably 4 or 5 years in that area, Pasadena, Glen Burnie.
My cousin Tom still lives down there.
Basically the same little pocket of South Baltimore. But you're going to need a translator when you move to Glen Burnie, because it's going to take you about a month or two just to be able to understand the dialect. A lot of people are going to call you hun. Don't be offended by that. Every woman is going to call you sweetie or hun or how you doing. Or
I actually wrote a list of terms that if you're going to visit that area, and actually it's sitting in my bag now, just words that you will hear and what people mean when they say it.
Right.
So it's probably about 15 words. You'd be like, I don't know what they mean. Like, there's a guy. Don't look for a guy named Donnie Ocean. All right, when you go there, you're going to hear about this legendary guy named Donnie Ocean. He's not a person. Donnie Ocean means we're going to the beach.
We're going down to the ocean. But they say,
Donnie Ocean.
Probably going down the ocean.
Yeah. So you would think there's a guy named Donnie Ocean that everyone in that general part of the country just loves. But it's not a person. It's a statement.
And every sentence begins a lot of the time in that area with, yeah. So if you ask a question, all right, the first thing you're
the
going to
answer might be no.
Am I close to a Raven Stadium? Oh, yeah. You need to go and get on 297. Go that way. But it's going to be thick, man. But the food's going to be fantastic and affordable.
Yes. It's a little thing we call flavor.
I appreciate the information.
No matter what, you're not prepared for Glen Burnie. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
The people, they're an odd bunch, man.
Well, we are buying a house in Friendsville, if that matters any.
Friendsville? I've never heard of Friendsville. It doesn't even sound like a real place.
I have heard of it. I just don't know where it is.
Welcome to Friendsville. It sounds like a place you'd find at a Disney Kingdom.
Where do you get assaulted at? Friendsville. The guy moved from Seattle? Yeah.
Well, in a lot of those areas, too, since we left, they build them up, and then there's
rename them.
And there's subsections. Like even where I grew up in College Park, between there and Riverdale, now there's like a Riverdale Heights. And like all the SE places we used to go to now are fancy restaurants.
That's a very important thing to note as well. Just one last thing. In Maryland, if it ends with Heights, don't go there.
Oh, damn. Sorry. I don't want to get stuck on this Maryland stuff. You're moving out to the other side of the state, though.
What are you moving out to the Panhandle?
Garrett County.
Oh okay. My God, dude. You are moving out there. Very cool. That's kind of close to where I grew up. Interesting.
Nice.
You're in the middle of the woods, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's where I'm going to love being. That's good.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, nice. All right, so what happened with you from the waist down?
Okay, so when I was in the Marine Corps, I was in boot camp, and we were going out for rifle training, and we're all loaded up in a double-deuce truck, and they had a steel tailgate that you lifted up and, removed from the back. Well, they had leaned it up against the back of the truck, and everybody was jumping out, and I was the last one. And when I jumped out, that tailgate went perpendicular, and I straddled it, and neither one of my legs touched the ground. So needless to say, I had a little bit of an injury.
Now, was it your butt, perineum? Was it your boys? What took the brunt
of it? It was my boys.
Now, when you smash your boys like that, is it even possible to scream?
I think maybe the scenario of being in boot camp and you're stuck on sir, yes, sir type of mode. And no, I didn't scream. I just leaned to one side and got off of it and walked around the side of the truck and kind of bent over and gathered myself.
Yeah, I mean, you have to, man. I mean, the last time I took a shot to my boys, because it had been a long time, my kid was 3 years old, we're like wrestling around on the bed or whatever. He kind of slips, but he headbutted me, just a direct shot. Mm-hmm. And that pain comes in, and I forgot, it sucks, but you forget exactly how bad it is, because it had probably been a 25-year gap. So my kid's looking at me, he's like, you all right? And I'm just holding up the hang on a second finger. So I'm laying on the bed. Then I get in the fetal position, and I can't explain it. Then I had to get off the bed and get in the fetal position on the floor. Somehow the floor is where I needed to be, and the whole time, Dad, are you okay? I'm like, you will understand. It's fine. you will understand it when it happens to you. There's no way to explain it. And since then, it has happened to him thanks to soccer.
Our question, what has happened to you from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit Max.com.
T-Mobile's network can help keep you connected to all your favorite podcasts when you're out and about. Whether you're an early bird looking to dive into a daily news podcast or a night owl who wants to catch up on the latest reality TV drama, T-Mobile will keep you connected on their strong and reliable network. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than anyone. So if you need great coverage, especially when you're on the go, check out T-Mobile. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY.
Nobody said adulting would be easy. Between work, family, chores, and activities, life can get real messy real fast. Good thing there's Simple Green All-Purpose Cleaner. Simple Green tackles even the toughest cleanup jobs in every room of your house. Simple Green has been a trusted cleaning brand for nearly 50 years, and it's now available in both lemon and lavender scents. So you get a cleaner that not only works hard, but leaves your home smelling fresh. Even better, Simple Green All-Purpose Cleaner is US EPA Safer Choice certified for use around people, pets, and plants. Stronger, safer, fresher. That's the cleaning experience we all want, right? When life gets messy, Simple Green gets it clean. This stuff literally removes dirt, grease, and stains from any washable surface in your home. Visit simplegreen.com today to view their complete product lineup and discover where to buy in your area.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
The question, what happened from the waist down? We revisit a story and go back to 1954.
1954.
At first, the theory was that an Alabama housewife had the misfortune of being hit with part of an airplane that had fallen from the sky, barreling through the roof of her home, bouncing off of her radio, and then hitting her in the hip. She'd been napping under the quilts, and the impact caused what National Geographic termed to be an ugly pineapple-shaped bruise. The truth was even stranger. In November 1954, Ann Hodges became the first person known to have been struck and injured by an extraterrestrial object. Doesn't seem to have been an entirely positive story either. The bruising the meteorite caused wasn't enough to initially require hospitalization, but she eventually did end up in the hospital, including for what her husband, Eugene, described as a nervous breakdown. Now, later, he accused her doctor of having doped her up while she was hospitalized, and his 34-year-old wife, he claimed that she developed a prescription drug addiction that contributed to their divorce based on the hospitalization, the pain that she was in, and the fact
it won't be the first or last time that happened.
That the doctor doped her up. Well, she ended up passing on for kidney failure in 1972. She was only 52. By that time, the space rock had left the family's possession, but that's a story as well. Police had immediately seized the object, and the Air Force then took it. So Eugene, he hired a local lawyer to try to get it back, which he did, only to have the couple's landlady argue it was rightfully hers.
Come on.
Well, the Hodges hired a lawyer again, and they were successful in retaining it, though they paid her $500 to give up her rights to the meteorite. By the time it was all settled, the initial frenzy of offers to buy it had cooled, and they ended up donating it to the University of Alabama, which paid them 25 American dollars. That meteorite that hit her leg and caused that pineapple-shaped bruise is still on display at the University of Alabama today.
Curious to see how big it is. I mean, this is a rock that has been floating through the solar system for probably billions of years. That's not an exaggeration. And then one day, it gets stuck in Earth's orbit, comes down and crashes through your house and hits you. I mean, that is the universe saying you suck.
Our question, what happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Quick text here. It says, please don't use my name. Well, I won't because you didn't include it, so you're safe. But years ago, after my second pregnancy, there were some issues, to say the least. I won't go into the gory details for everyone's sake, but I wound up having to have my labia surgically scraped. My question to you is, what are they scraping off of your labia? I have never heard of such a thing.
And is there non-surgical scrapes?
Well, yeah, baby. Non-surgical labia scrape.
Yeah, baby.
I'm just saying, like, it sounds awful either way, but to be like surgical, it's like, wow.
I hope so.
Like, people are generally messing around down there like that.
No. Do you mind if I scrape your labia? I'm not a doctor. I just want to practice.
It's a very specific thing I'm into.
But you can't find a thumbnail on the porn sites. Scraped labias.
It's tough. I'm on page 12.
Hello, Brittany. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, radio friends.
Hola. Brittany, real quick, before you go into your story, what would a labia scrape be? Why would someone scrape your labia?
Surgically.
Surgically, of course.
There could be a cancer. There could be some kind of biopsy that needs done.
Okay. Thank you.
Have you ever had that procedure?
Not on the labia, but on my cervix inside.
Okay.
Right. Oh, maybe that's why she's calling.
Which leads me into my story.
Okay.
So, a few months back, me and my dude friend were getting through a really heavy workout together. We wanted to relax afterwards with a nice vibrating massage, and that device got sucked up and got stuck inside of me.
You got a vibrator stuck inside your vagina.
Was it like a little tiny bullet?
I did. It was, a little bigger than the bullet, but yes. It was small, and it was slippery, and it was stuck for a good, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes.
Was it buzzing? Was it vibrating when it was stuck?
Yes.
So,
absolutely.
I mean, okay, so let me just ask the quick question here. So, it serves its purpose. It's still vibrating. Now it's trapped inside of you. Did you say, like, let's give it 3 minutes before we worry about this? I mean, was it good or bad?
I am a very positive person. I know that I am capable, and I was not worried, but the person I was with was very worried, and it took me a little finessing, but it came out.
Okay. All right. See, this is what I'm tracking here. I'm trying to do some quick math, and not to bring this up, but I'm going to. So, 2 people are working out vigorously. Let's just assume that we're at the gym, right? We got a couple, and the couple is working out. And the guy, say you're going to work out for an hour. 50 minutes in, the guy says, hey, you know what? I think I'm done with my workout. I just finished it.
Right.
But you say, no, I need to keep going here and get the workout done. So am I assuming by this massage technique that you were just trying to complete your workout at that time?
It was more for exploratory purposes, but yes.
Okay.
Exploratory purposes. Okay. So
just to make sure that your goal was achieved on your workout on your watch.
So you said it was in there for how long?
I would say about 5 to 10.
5 to 10. Did you have multiple orgasms, or were you just trying to get this thing out?
I don't know, dude.
All right. So okay. Let me ask you a question. Did you think of anything that you could possibly use to try to remove this object?
At first, no, I did not think of anything to help me other than myself. It took a little. I put my fingers in, kind of had to squeeze it, and kind of cup it out.
And it came out.
It took a lot of work, but I got it out.
Is it plastic or metal? Because I'm thinking if you had like a powerful magnet, just kind of.
It was like a silicone, a soft.
Okay. So this wasn't like the turbo tongue tickler. I guess it didn't. I guess it was battery operated. It didn't have a cord attached to it.
Right. Yes. Rechargeable.
Now, is this like a Bluetooth thing where you plug it into a USB?
Unfortunately, not Bluetooth. It does plug in to charge, but no Bluetooth.
All right. Okay.
Is there a vibrating sex toy that is connected to a cord?
No.
I can't imagine.
Yes. Oh yeah, sure.
Yes.
For real. So like you're using it for self pleasure, but there is a cord that's plugged into the wall.
Oh, plugged into the wall.
Yeah.
I have one that has like a little speed dial connected to it. Unusually. But there are like the really heavy back massagers plug into the wall, and those get the job done.
Have you heard of the ones? Have you heard of the ones that obviously you can control them remotely through the app on your phone?
Oh yeah,
Right.
So
I do want to invest in one of those.
So
I've been doing some research trying to see the best kind.
Right.
Would you let someone else, like, would you hand me the phone
That's exactly what's
while you're using this thing to see where I go?
All you need is the password personally for the app. So everybody gets the app, right?
Sure.
Okay, now.
As a stranger, I might be a little more apprehensive.
Sure.
Maybe a couple drinks, and we'll see where that goes.
What I'm saying is, there have been situations that I've heard of with this unit where the boyfriend has access to the code, right?
Right.
But the woman wears this thing basically all day.
And,
and whenever he wants, which is kind of like surprise,
right? Thinking of you.
You know, you might be in a meeting, you might be at the grocery store, you might be exercising. I don't know, but he's got the power to turn it on and control the level of all the things that the unit does. Or you would at home if you were to do that as well, but somebody else has got the power. Oh, baby, I can't talk. I'm at an 11 o'clock meeting. Cool. I'll call you after.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, exactly.
Technology.
Sure.
Technology. Hey, man, you put it to use.
Sure. What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
And that could be a bet for like a day.
Well, just give me access to that.
I'm saying right, but like you couldn't have that going a lot.
No,
especially if you hand it to a guy, because guys like pulling pranks anyway. So if I know you have a meeting, I'm definitely firing that bad boy up.
Yeah, I mean, even in a work meeting, I could be like, oh, I'm sick, I can walk out. But there's just other circumstances where it's just like, no.
Mm-hmm. Like if you call me and say, hey, man, the cops just pulled me over, I'm firing the bad boy up.
Yeah,
Ma'am, you're acting, please step out of the vehicle. You're acting strange. I'd really rather not. I really just like to stay here. I'm not trying to be difficult.
Right, or like, I don't know, she's like talking to her dad.
God.
There's a lot of
Damn,
bad
Ted.
scenarios.
You just took the fun out of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's talking to family.
Hey, Dad. Oh. What is going on?
She's scolding a child.
Man, guys.
And you're just sitting there being like, I got her.
You're an elementary school teacher.
Yeah,
I'm going
right.
to diffuse the situation this time for you,
Like
kid.
she works at a funeral home. Like,
Man.
Dearly beloved. Oh. I'm so
sorry for your
My stomach.
sorry for your loss. Sorry for your loss.
My stomach feels terrible. I feel like I've got to go to the bathroom.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, in theory, I get the idea. But like, oh, this is bad.
Oh, dude, stand in line for something. You're at the grocery store looking at meat.
Watching your buddy's court case.
Oh, God. You're testifying in court. Jury duty. You are jury duty. I'm firing that bad boy.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
And I'm getting contempt of court and just screaming through.
Like you're going through security. Right, you're in that machine. Like there's just a lot of bad spots. Now, if she's like, hey, I'm going out with the girls to get some margaritas. Like, okay, let's have fun while you're out with the girls.
I wouldn't even do it then.
Oh,
it wouldn't matter. No, man. I want it to be a serious thing. Like you said, you're a trial lawyer. Jury, you're the judge. Maybe you're the cop. Oh, traffic stop. Hit her. Mm-hmm. Sir, step out of the vehicle.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, how's it going?
Hola.
Hola. So I guess my story is a military story. We're doing training in Texas, and they would remove cactuses, like the troublemakers would move the cactuses, and we're doing like a paintball thing. And I have to go pull cover somewhere, so I go jump in some bushes to like hide. And it turns out when you remove the cactus needles stay in the ground.
Oh.
And I jumped in the cactus, a bunch of cactus needles, and I got cactus all in my junk.
Oh, God.
Man. Was that the only area, or was it down your legs as well?
It was like my whole legs. Like where I had my IOTV on, I was like good, but it was like my legs and my junk.
But your junk's the important thing. Your legs take a beating every day.
Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like popped up because I'm supposed to be pulling cover, and I got yelled at. They're like, "What are you doing, private?" And I was like, "I got cactus," and I used obviously more explicit words.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I got cactus in my,
on my private."
And he was like, "You deal with that." Like it was like the first time like yelling back at like an instructor, Not yelling back.
I think in that situation I would too. Like, brother, I know you're in charge. I got cactus needles in my junk. So do you have to just remove them yourself?
Yeah, I kind of just like pulled them out and like brushed off my pants and like pulled out the ones that were like stuck in deep. But the pants are pretty nice, so they didn't like go fully through the pants, like not all of them.
How many? Not all of them. Even one is more than enough. How many needles did you have to pull out of your junk?
I'd say 3 to 5.
God almighty, man! How big were these needles?
They were like small hair types. Like, have you ever seen the ones that have like just tons of hairs on them?
Yes, yeah, it's like fuzz.
Yeah, and like, so like there was also like some that I couldn't even get out, and they just like kind of like just bothered me for a week.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
A week?
Yeah, like they just like wouldn't come out, and they're like deep in there, and you can't get them out with like a tweezer or nothing.
So they just have to raise to the surface to the point where you can take them out?
Yeah.
The ones in your junk?
Like just, I don't know, wait, what did you say?
The ones in your junk, there were some that you could not remove from your junk?
No, I got all those ones out.
All right. Okay,
now, let me get this right. When you're in the military, you're private, whatever your last name is, right?
Yeah.
Now, do the drill sergeants and sergeants take advantage of the obvious softballs that are thrown up by people's last names that kind of lend itself to being funnier?
Oh, of course.
All right,
I have one of those last names.
What have you heard yelled before? This is just someone's last name, you know? Like I'm thinking there's like Private Johnson,
right?
Private Bush, get over here, whatever it is. You know, they're going to say the name louder.
The one that like I heard the most was like people with really crazy the alphabet, because they have so many letters.
Right.
My last name's like Bucko.
Bucko?
So they'd switch the F.
Yeah. Too easy.
Yeah, good times.
And I was telling Miles earlier that
I would really enjoy that.
My mother's maiden last name was Cox, C-O-X, right? She married my father. Obviously, his last name's Hill. So it hit me last week. I'm like, man, it'd have been great if my mother, because a lot of times you'll hyphenate your name. Yeah. She married a dude with the last name Zucker. I was like, I would love.
I just want to keep my maiden name.
I'm not going to say it.
Mark, I love you. I just want to keep my maiden name.
Paging Ms. Wow. Tell you what. Right.
What happened for the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Daryl. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
So, when I was in my 20s, I worked in a body shop, and we painted a bunch of Cadillacs. That was kind of our bread and butter. And you know how big those old 70s boats were.
Oh, yeah.
So I go in early to buff out some hoods, and we always crack the hood or in the doors and et cetera. So I have the driver's door cracked. I'm leaning full across the hood and pressed into the driver's door. Well, my junk goes in the crease between the front door.
Yes.
Yeah. And I kind of rattled the car and the door shut.
Oh my God. Is this like a Fleetwood?
And it was not an Eldo. It was, what do they call those?
I just remember those old Cadillacs.
DeVille sedan?
Oh, yeah.
Those things had the heaviest doors.
Yes.
And that's a big door because a sedan on a Cadillac, which is just a two-door.
Because there were 2 doors back then, yeah.
It had to be big enough where you could get in the bag.
2 doors, and it was metal.
Yeah, so it was a coupe DeVille.
My buddy has
one. So wait, you close the door, and you're telling me, like, your junk's on one side of the door, and you're standing on the other?
Well, it's in the crease of the front door. You know how the door shuts?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the crease because I leaned in to reach way across the hood.
God,
but that's still too far of an arm's reach to be able to open the door.
Yeah, well, that's the kicker. I'm not a tall person, and I could not reach the door handle.
Jesus Christ,
and
man!
I went in early to get stuff done. So I'm hanging there in this car for about 40 minutes until our painter shows up.
40 minutes?
Yeah, I couldn't reach the door, man. I couldn't reach the door handle.
I get how much agony are you in?
Oh man,
was this the twig or the berries or the whole?
It was the twig. You know how your pants kind of stick out.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm leaning. I mean, I'm full. I'm in. And they took me to the. I mean, it was hilarious. They took me to the. I thought it was gonna like. I mean, it was black and blue.
I thought it would fall off or something.
Well, mine's already black, so the blue is what would kill me. But so for 40 minutes, right? For 40 minutes, you got your twig stuck in this
tree.
crease.
And he's like, I'm leaving you, man. I'm not going to open the door. You're stuck until the boss shows up. And I'm like, no, man. I will give you, back then we were into, all kinds of illicit stuff, I said, I'll give you everything out in my car if you open that door.
Why would he not? Why was he scared to open the door?
Because he was cruel, and we grew up as kids, and we tortured each other. So it was kind of like that, I'm going to get you.
So when
I'll get you back.
When you go to the hospital, all right, what is the damage that they tell you you've done?
They called it a contusion.
Okay.
Yeah. How long did that take to heal?
Oh my God. Jeez. I don't know if it ever did.
Well, okay, let me ask you a question. How, like when you wake up in the morning, there's nothing you can do about it. So how severe was that pain when your body did that?
It was awful. It was worse than getting kicked full on. I mean, it was like, and it was a different pain,
Oh my God, man. 40 minutes.
I mean, it hurt to pee. It hurt to get
an erection.
I don't know how to say it PG on radio.
Yeah, you got it. That's
everything hurt, but
would you ever drive a Cadillac?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Heck yeah, Cadillacs are the best, man. I love them.
Standard of American luxury.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Odyssey celebrates Pride by amplifying the voices, music, and conversations of the LGBTQ plus community. Download the free Odyssey app and listen to podcasts celebrating and having conversations about the issues facing LGBTQ plus Americans, like It's Okay to Say Gay, Queer Intentions, and The Bald and the Beautiful with Trixie Mattel and Katia Zamo. To hear music by and for the LGBTQ plus community, plus podcasts and more, go to odyssey.com/pride or download the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state.
Dealing with an accident and injury claim can be overwhelming. Let Phillips Law Firm fight for you. We understand the pain and suffering, and we're here to guide you through. Call 1-800-JUSTICE today for a free case review, or visit justiceforyou.com and let Phillips Law Firm help you on the road to recovery.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
You're cracking and rolling, man. Yeah! Another win last night against the Ducks down in Anaheim. Looks like the Kraken maybe get to the postseason. Who knows? It's kind of looking that way. Either way, tomorrow is a Kraken Thursday right here on the Rock.
Kraken Thursday?
Starting at 7 a.m. all the way to 7 p.m. Listen all day for the code word. Then go to KISW.com. Enter for your chance to win those tickets. What tickets? I don't know what the game is. Either way, one of the tickets leading up to the postseason,
right.
Hopefully.
It looks that way, man.
We'll give you the code word here on the program live every hour. And you go to KISW.com, enter that for your chance to win. So we'll start that right tomorrow when we get on the air. Of course, BJ and Mitchell and Ryan will have your tickets starting at 7 a.m. tomorrow. On our question, what happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Robert. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
Yeah, so I had a spinal cord injury and put me in a wheelchair. I learned how to walk again with the muscles I had left, but it left me with, I couldn't feel my junk.
Wait, you can feel your legs, but you couldn't feel your junk?
Some of my legs, but not my junk at all.
Really?
Now, is that permanent, or was that just a temporary thing?
No, it's permanent. I had a surgery, the third one in the U.S., where they took a nerve out of my groin and then cut me and put it in there and sewed me up, but it didn't take.
It didn't take. So how many years has it been that you have not felt your junk?
2012.
2012. Jeez, man. So 11 years. So do you, like, even if you get an erection because you're turned on, I mean, is sex anything at all?
Yeah, it's just different. It's a lot more mental, touches, smells, you know.
All right.
And
do you know when you're coming to a conclusion?
Yeah, that's the weird thing about it. I can do that, and it seems like it's 10 times better now.
Really?
Now you're bragging.
I'm just glad to know. I'm just glad to know that the damn thing is still functional. That would be
right,
and that you can do that, and you still feel better in this case. That's insane.
Yeah, I used a shot, but yeah, it
do you have to where does the shot go?
Right in the side of it.
Okay.
So you can't feel your junk. So you can get through sex, like you said, it's mental. But what about if you're getting a mouth hug? I mean, is there anything going on there other than the visual?
Well, yep, just the visual, but it's still enjoyable mentally, right?
I mean, that's why I watch porn.
Absolutely.
I'm not getting laid when I watch porn, but I'm watching other people get laid, and it works for me.
Yeah.
Now, do you last forever because of that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's probably one of the benefits as far as you're not going to have the quick draw McGraw.
Is that a benefit?
I don't know. It depends on your time frame. A quickie is going to be out of the question, especially after you need to do an injection and everything else. It's a little bit of a process, but I would be willing to take the time to get that process done.
Would you be open to the idea of them trying another nerve transplant, or is that ship sailed and you're like, I'm good to go?
No, it's sailed. I'm good to go. I just learned to live with what I got, and it works.
How about your legs?
So I can't feel the back of them. I can't feel my butt. I'm hypersensitive from the knees down, and I don't have any balance or calf muscles that work. But I still figured out how to walk and go back to work.
Do you use a walker?
No.
You just walk. You just do the best you can.
Yeah, I'm in construction, and I 9 months off, and I got back in it, and I just don't have balance, so I got to keep moving or touch something.
Well, let me ask you this.
It seems like construction would be a very dangerous job if you're struggling with balance, you know?
Well, I'm superintendent, so.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. You go to a bar. You go to a bar, you sit down, you get a couple beers. You need to use the bathroom. You get up off your chair. I'm your bartender, and it looks like you're staggering around and having a hard time getting your crap together as you walk to the bathroom. Have you ever been cut off?
I've been questioned, never cut off. Okay. I was questioned by some police, and I'm like, no, this is just how I walk, buddy.
Do you have is there something that they give you? I mean, like, we have a buddy, he's been through some stuff, and he carries a card with him.
Yeah.
So that when he goes into a bar or any of those situations, he can show whatever identification this is, and, oh, sorry, man, we didn't mean to mess with you.
Yeah, I have a card, but just like for the placard of the disability for parking. But usually I'll tell them if I'm not hammered, but if I'm hammered, I'm hammered, right?
Right, well, that's true. Yeah. That's true. But, I mean, the placard would go a long way. Just don't put that in your pocket because it's hanging on your window out in the parking lot.
Oh, man.
Well, they give you a card if you have a placard that you're supposed to keep with you.
Okay, all right. That's exactly what I was asking. All right, makes sense.
That is, so you can't feel your ass either.
No, I can't feel my ass.
Do you know when you're done pooping?
Yeah, that's a little different for me now, but that's a different story.
Okay. Yeah,
I use a catheter to pee.
You do use a catheter to pee. Okay, so let me ask you this, though. Say you're going to buy a new sofa. Does it matter to you as much as it matters to other people going, this sofa's really comfortable, but just the fact if you can't feel your ass, I mean, you can just save money by a cheap couch, right?
Yeah, guaranteed. Okay. I'm tall, so as long as my legs do a 90-degree,
right.
That's the couch. Okay. But I'm the guy that sits on the wet forklift every morning.
So isn't it weird that you break your back, and that's perfectly normal now, but everything else is kind of screwed up as a result of that?
Yeah, I mean, it's not perfectly normal. I had a burst fracture, so they put a piston in and fused me up and down, so it hurts bad all the time, but I didn't get I got the muscle loss, but not the numbness, so I have pain all the time.
Okay, so basically, anytime you go out with somebody, you have to have the same conversation with them that you just had with us, as far as the process, what you need to do, and all those things.
100%. Yep. And I'm just straightforward. I've been the humility I have none left because what happened in the hospital. I've seen some stuff and did some stuff in front of people, so I'm good to go with any conversation.
Yeah. So what did you do to actually to have the spinal cord injury in the first place?
I took a dirt bike up a 30-foot cliff and landed on my butt.
That will do it. Okay.
Damn.
It blew up my L4 and it went through the spinal cord.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
That is the craziest thing I've heard.
Damn.
I've never talked to someone that can't feel their penis.
Yeah, because once you started started with a broken back, I was like, all right, well, how is this going to affect? You
can't feel your penis now. I was not expecting that.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Man, oh, man. Hello, Eric. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So my story is when I was younger, I had like a lamp in my bedroom. It was like one of those ones with the 3 bulbs in it all along the stem of it, sort of like a flower.
Mm-hmm.
It fell over and shattered glass, and I thought, well, it's a simple cleanup, and I cleaned up all the bits of glass. And being a teenager, and the lights were now off in my bedroom, I proceeded to self-gratify myself.
Oh, no.
And unbeknownst to me, I didn't feel it. I had a cut in my hand, and I was bleeding a little bit, and got blood everywhere.
When did you figure out that you had blood on your junk? Did you go into the bathroom like, oh my God?
Yeah. Afterwards, I went into the bathroom to go wash my hands, and I looked down, and oh God.
Now, did you think your penis was bleeding, or did you instantly know that it came from your hand?
Oh no, I thought my penis was bleeding because I didn't feel the cut on my hand at all.
Okay.
That had to be a terrifying moment.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Carrie.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
And being a teenager, it was sort of like
you don't want to tell anyone.
Fight response. Well, that too.
How long did it take you to realize it was your hand and not your junk?
Not that long, because I just noticed that was looking around at my hands, looking at all the blood on my hands and my junk, and then I saw it sort of spurt out and like, oh, okay. Thank God it's that.
Yeah. I've had shards of glass in my hand before that had to work their way out. And I didn't even realize that in some areas of the glass had entered.
Yeah.
Until it started working its way out. Then I pressed into it and you feel that sharp pain. You're like, oh, there's a piece of glass.
There's glass in me.
There's another one coming up. Like 2 days later, there'll be another one someplace. I'm like, when is this going to end for my my slider shattering?
Oh, right, yeah.
I was like, this is insane.
His story went better than I thought it was going to. I thought it said the glass was in his hand.
And then he got it in
right, and just ripped his junk apart.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
I don't need it. Yeah. Hello, Bill. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. So anyways, about 5 years ago, I had to go in and have a testicular exam. Ultrasound, I guess.
Why do they need to do an ultrasound on your testicles specifically?
Well, basically because Lefty was feeling his oats and he got a little puffy.
Oh, okay. I would go in for that as well. All right.
Right? So anyways, I go in and not only do I get one gal in the room to do the exam, but I get 2. And I'd say one is a senior. She's probably, a senior. She's older. She's probably about 35. And the other one looks like she's fresh out of college, doing maybe a job shadow. And so we go ahead and go through this exam, which takes about 20 minutes. And I'm like, slightly uncomfortable doing it with 2 women in the room, but I have to get it done. And I've had all kinds of crap happen, so I can get through this. Well, right at the very end, the lady running the exam says, "Mister, would you mind letting this younger gal go ahead and try this equipment? She's not really familiar with all this. Would you mind letting her do a false exam just to get familiar with the equipment?" And so, of course, I'm like, hey, this should be no big deal. Everybody's got to learn somehow. I had to learn myself with different things. So
and now you have training testicles.
Yeah. Right.
And by the equipment, you meant your junk.
Yeah.
My junk and her ultrasound. Okay, so they go ahead and switch positions, and I don't really know exactly what came over me, but right when the younger gal went ahead and put the ultrasound on my testicles, I decided to go ahead and act like I'd been electrocuted with about 240 volts. And the frickin' both of those gals come unlit, screaming and yelling, and I kind of smiled at the older gal, and she laughed back at me, and the younger gal was still shaking at the wand, I should say. And anyways, we all had a hell of a laugh over it. And so when we got all done, everybody was, the ice was broken, so to speak.
Sure.
When we left, I didn't really realize, but there's a whole hallway of rooms. And as we walked out, everybody was poking their head out the other rooms, wondering what was all the hysterical laughter and screaming. And they followed me all the way out to the waiting room and see you later, have a good day. Me and my buddies laugh about this all the time. Like, everybody says, if I have to have that done, I'm doing the same damn thing.
I was just thinking exactly that.
Well, let me ask you this: what was the ultimate diagnosis on your boys?
Oh, just one just decided he wanted to get bigger than the other, and it's all good.
Okay, I've had an ultrasound done there before.
Like, that can happen. There's one testicle goes, I'm going to move the girl a little.
Yeah, well, I'm getting ready to hit double digits on the 55 this year, so, one just decided,
flex its muscle.
On an extra, yeah.
Your left testicle's the dominant one.
Yeah,
all right.
It's making it.
There you go. Right. There's like
the
my eye.
Why did you get an ultrasound on your testicles?
I got one after I got a vasectomy.
Okay, all right, makes sense.
Because they tie the vas deferens, so they want to make sure that for the most part. I mean, there's a couple ways you can do it, but they also did an ultrasound for me. Basically, typically you'll just go back in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Then go into the room where you do your business. Then they determine if you have any swimmers or not. But in my case, they also gave me an ultrasound.
So you have to take care of business there.
Yes, basically what
How
they do
long
is
did it take you?
Well, it's very strange because the place I went to had a very small little room.
Yeah.
But there's basically a chair, and there's a television, and there is magazines in the drawer.
That's tough too. It's smartphone.
Right, but you're also right beside the lobby.
Are you kidding?
No, I mean, you just walk into this room, and there's a receptionist in there.
So everyone knows what you're doing when you go into this room.
This is not going to include audio.
Yeah.
Anything I do in here will be strictly visual.
Had you saved up?
I had not been able to I had not done anything since the operation.
All right. Yeah, I feel like I'd have to go in there like a week or two prep.
Well, that was the problem.
I wouldn't have to. I feel like it don't move faster.
You don't like peeing in the public bathroom, right? I can deal with that. But the idea of having to go to a hospital and really, go into the spank room, right?
Yeah.
That would kind of mess with my mojo.
The difference
because typically when I am masturbating, I don't feel like I'm on a time limit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You can take as long as you need. Sometimes it happens real quick. But I can't imagine someone is waiting for me to finish masturbating, and the whole thing is they know specifically. So then
basically, you put it into a double little cabinet door. So you put it in there and then grab it from the other side.
But here's my question. How long did it take? Because in my mind, if I finish this in 2 minutes, that's going to be weird. But if I take 15 minutes, that's I think I'd force myself. You got 5 to 7 minutes.
Well, I had lots of questions. Do you still leave a deposit? Do you do all these things? Yes, you actually do.
Right.
What they didn't tell me is how much more it was. So I'm just used to my regular routine as far as what I'm going to expect. And I was like, oh my God. I mean, I could not believe it.
Does it stay at that level, or is it just because you're building up?
It was like, have you ever seen that commercial that sometimes comes on Pornhub right before, you want more of this goo?
Right.
And just keeps filling up this cup. It was kind of like that. I was like, oh my God.
But is that still the case now, or is it kind of a one-time?
It's much more, but it was a lot. It was a lot more then. Just because it had been the first time that I'd ever really cleared
all that. What do they clean your pipes as well?
I don't know what the hell the deal is. There's got to be some scientific reason.
Because I've heard that before.
It must have felt awesome, though.
It did feel awesome, but I was so shocked by what was going on because typically, I don't need to clean up in aisle 5.
Right.
And here I am, wiping stuff off the floor with a tissue and stuff because I'm like, this stuff just went everywhere. That was a little bit strange.
Did you have to clean the floor?
Oh, yeah.
You might see. That's why I don't want to go in there because like, how often do you clean this room?
Normally,
because a buddy of mine kind of missed the cup.
I put the cup like as if you were holding a full glass of water.
Sure.
What I should have done was hooded the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
And I did not really know that because typically I'm not really like.
Well, you're taking like a free throw, basically.
It's just,
dude.
You got to be careful. But if you if you take 2 weeks off, you got to be careful.
Oh, dude, it's
it's
like firing a gun.
that first free throw. You don't know. That thing
it goes over the backboard.
Right, that's what I'm
saying. Oh, damn it!
Right.
Hey guys, I got to warm up again. I'm sorry.
I got to wash the sheets.
Can you guys have a Q-tip? Just the door.
Yeah, I was shocked, man. I walked out of there like, geez, a whiz, I could have done porn.
How long were you in there?
Not long. I mean, honestly, at that point in time, I knew I couldn't really do anything until I went back there, so nothing.
So you're kind of looking forward to it, like cool.
Well, not really, because I didn't know if there would be pain, like anything else. You just don't. I just did not know what to expect. I did not know what to expect, because in my mind, if you cut the cord, there's going to be nothing.
Sure.
But that's not the case. It's a lot worse. It's a lot more. Yeah. What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Terrell or Terrell. Welcome to the men's room.
It's Terrell, but hola.
Hola.
What's up, Terrell?
All right, so I sat on the tip of the pin.
You sat on the tip of
it? I smashed it in between the porcelain and the toilet seat.
Oh, God, man.
Yay. It was the most excruciating pain I've ever felt in my entire life.
And again, I have to ask, do you have the ability to, is it so much pain that you can't even scream?
Oh, no. Completely silent.
Yeah. And was there bruising involved after the fact?
Yes. And I'm dark-skinned.
Well, I've always been afraid of, sometimes they have the toilet seats that are kind of loose on the screws that slide to the side.
Uh-huh.
That seems to me like just a guillotine ready to happen.
Yeah,
you know?
ready to kill your junk.
Mm-hmm.
How long was the bruise there?
About 3-4 days, but it was tender for like a week and a half.
Oh, no doubt about it.
This is what makes it worse. I'm at my mom's house when it happened, so I fall off the seat and I hit my forehead on the stud in front of me because there's a wall in front of me. So I fall over, I hit my head, and I'm dazed. Like I'm 5'11", 190, so tall guys want to fight me and little guys want to fight me. I've been hit a lot. I was dazed. So I'm the firstborn, only male. So my mom comes running down the hallway. She's like, "T, are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, don't come in."
My tenderoni.
Because at this point, I'm in the motion of sitting down, so my pants are around my ankles.
Yeah.
I'm not in a good situation. I don't want my mom to see me like this. So I gather my bearings. I walk out. My mom's like, "What happened?" So I got to explain the story to her. She goes, "That happened to your sister, Dad. That's big D problems."
Yeah. Lotto.
So, hey, man, thanks for the genetics.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Walk the dogs, school drop-off, meetings from 10 to 3, take kids to soccer, then no time left for a jog.
When everyone else is relying on you, it's easy to put your needs last. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online, so you can show up for yourself the way you do for others. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit Max.com.
You diet, you work out, and still there's that one stubborn spot. Hey, it's Jason. I just went after my stubborn fat by doing cool sculpting at Tureen Dermatology, Minnesota's top cool sculpting provider. Dr. Tureen is my dermatologist. We froze my fat, and those fat cells are gone for good. FDA approved. No pain, no downtime. Ranked top doctor 8 years in a row. Trust the experts at Tureen Dermatology. Call today, 651-633-6883. 10-3 and say goodbye to stubborn fat.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
Man on the Big Island in Hawaii has reportedly survived a shark attack in what is believed to be the second attack in the States in a week. The 60-year-old man used a diving knife to fend off the 12-foot-long tiger shark as he swam in a bay on the north end of the Big Island. Officials, according to CBS News, said the shark, quote, got a big chunk of the left side of my butt before releasing the man, who was in stable condition.
Because his butt tasted nasty.
But he got a big chunk of his cheek there. Question, what happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dick. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hello.
Hola.
So, back in 2017, I was part of a fantasy rock opera that me and my friends were doing, and I just recently got my EMT certificate, so I was an EMT basic.
All right.
So during grand intermission, or like right before the intermission, this big fight scene that was going on, and curtain came down, and I was like hosting someone, and then to like try to talk up this up our theatrical performance and stuff like that, and then someone comes up from the back and is like, we need you in the back for emergency.
Hang on there.
Once again, Bedroom Colors, here are the 7 words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
All right, Dick, please continue.
So got medical services, and so it's like, all right. So I had to go into the back, and I'm seeing one of our main performances with like a tourniquet on his thigh.
All right.
And so he's just like, yeah, I apparently stabbed myself with my opponent's sword. And so looking at this, I'm like, all right, so I got my gloves on and everything. It's like, there's like puncture wound through his boxer shorts and actually into his inner thigh, just like next to the femoral artery.
Oh, so they were using real swords for this?
Oh, yeah. No, they're real, but they're all dull.
Okay.
Just
apparently not.
Not that dull.
Not dull enough to, you can still get stabbed. You can actually take your hands and grab the blade and not worry about it, but it was the tip. He got punctured from the tip of the sword into his inner thigh. So there's like, all right, checking to see what do I need to do to remove the tourniquet for a moment to see what's going on, and no blood. Absolutely no blood. It was just a little bit from the flesh. I'm like looking at the wound, all just fatty tissue.
Well, thank God. He could have bled out.
Yeah, I was like, all right, well, just bandage this up and take care of that. And so it's like, all right, you think you go to, it's like, this is bandage. After the show, you're going to go to the ER to get those things. It's like, that's understandable. And so he's like, he completed the rest of the performance. It was his opinion that he wanted to complete the rest of the performance.
Yeah, I mean, hell, the show must go on, as they say. Break a leg or take a sword.
I think about stab myself in the thigh.
Leg, yeah.
I would not bother to do that.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
I know this sounds terrible, but if I'm an EMT, I don't even think I'd tell anyone. Right, unless there's an absolute
You probably
emergency.
need to.
Well, no, and look, if you see something happen, I get it, you can spring into action. But in this case, they specifically came to him because something happened. But but if they don't know I'm an EMT, I don't know what to deal with it because they would just call like 911 or something. Yeah, that's my preference.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Andrew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, man.
Hola.
When I was 27 years old, I had hernia surgery in my satchel because my right satchel for most of my childhood till then was larger, and it was the size of my fist when I had the surgery.
They have. Wait, hold on. Are you saying they had? They could do hernia surgery in 1750?
No, I'm only 60.
Okay,
my voice has been like this my whole childhood.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a real man voice. Okay, so they literally looked like you beat me with a baseball bat upside down, all the way around everything, including the boys, and halfway up my trunk.
And you said this had been the case since childhood?
Yeah, it was when boys have hernias, when they're born, you have one on each side. It's called a right angle hernia. They're supposed to heal up naturally. Mine didn't, and for a time I had it for growing up. And that's not the only things that ever happened to them. Like that one guy, but I got mine caught in the potty seat getting PT'd, and that got cut there. But I had a former spouse try to give me a sex change 3 times in Lake Tahoe with a closed hand.
How long were you married to that person?
Very short time.
Yeah,
okay. All right. That doesn't sound like a good life decision.
That is the perfect answer.
Yeah, exactly. If you're going to go for that, punch me in the face.
The hernia was quite unpleasant because, you know when you get bad black eyes, all purple, yellow, and blue?
Yeah.
My entire thighs, all of the satchel, and everything right up to the neck, almost. All halfway up.
The neck. All right.
Literally. It was nasty.
You look like a bomb pop.
He should read books.
Oh, man. That's great.
You know, those voice books or audio book. And then he should be the guy.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
It's weird. Some people just have that kind of that raspy voice.
He definitely had it.
How long you been smoking? Like, I don't smoke. Oh, then you're like, I feel like an a-hole now.
Then you feel bad, right?
Yeah.
Hello, Raymond. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So, I was dating this girl a while ago, and she was rooming with somebody else, and it was a small place. She normally slept on the couch, but when I visited, we just laid blankets out on the floor. And one night we were doing our thing, and we got done. I was in a stage of deflating, and we were sitting on the floor with my back up against the couch, and I rolled over a little bit to get a cigarette. Well, my thing flopped a little bit, and her cat, who was sitting on the armrest of the couch, jumped off, thought it was maybe a mouse. I don't know.
That's a great description of your penis.
Yeah, a small little mole.
It was a river rat from Philadelphia.
That's it. That's it. Wharf rat.
So anyway, the cat swatted me right on the helmet, left a pretty good gash. I'm screaming. I look down. The cat takes off, and I got a pretty good gash there.
You got to be careful of that with a cat.
How long before it kind of healed up?
It took about 2 weeks before I could really, get back into the game.
Man, that cat took 2 weeks out of your sex game.
I still have the scar to this day, and that was 40 years ago.
For real, man?
Yeah.
Has anyone asked about it? Like, you're about to get sexy time, and chick's like, yo, man, what's up with the scar?
Only 2.
Only 2? And when you tell them, does it ruin the mood because they're laughing at you?
No. They just one knew the story because that was my ex-wife, and she knew the girl that I was dating. And the next one didn't really, just another scar on my body.
Okay.
Yeah. I got to do a knife fight.
Yeah, I would just be like, I'll get back to you, but I need about 5 minutes to laugh. Jesus.
Cats, I was sword fighting with my buddies in prison.
Right. My God, man. Cats. Mm-hmm. Just because of it. Look, there's a couple of things. You have to tell kids, just because it fits in your mouth does not mean you should put it in your mouth. And with a cat, just because it moves does not mean you need to attack it.
Well, I would. I typically sleep naked, but when Dr. Gomez was around and alive, he would try to jump into bed with me. And as soon as he got up there, first thing I did was get out of bed, put on some shorts, Then get back into the bed because that cat was just absolutely insane.
Well,
Anything
plus,
he saw,
you're going to wake up with an
He was half
erection.
blind.
It's a guarantee, right? So if your cat, you're dead asleep when this is happening. If your cat notices this in the middle of the night, it's going to attack your penis. And that's not okay with me.
My cat likes to hang in the bathroom when I'm taking a shower for whatever reason. Somebody's up, so he just hangs out in there. But then when I get out, I'm already a little bit uncomfortable. But then he has that eye.
He makes you uncomfortable.
I'm just like, oh man, I'm just picturing him looking at you because he's sitting on the toilet, so like he's at level with the doggone thing, and he's just looking at it with way too much intent. Like, bro, we are about to lose our friendship if you do what I know what you're thinking.
That's weird, Mike.
I know
Get
it
out of the
is.
shower, my cat's staring at my penis.
Right.
I'd have to change up my routine a little bit.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
I mean, what happens if you shut the door? Does he just scratch at it?
He'll scratch and scream, and then the wife's in there trying to sleep. So I try to do my best to keep quiet, and he'll just.
I'm not sacrificing my junk for anyone's sleep.
Well,
I'm
it's
sorry.
not
I'll be
like
like,
I'm-
baby, I love you, but you have to understand this is precarious. I am naked, I am wet, and the cat is staring at my junk like it wants to attack me.
Sure.
I love you, but that's not going to happen.
But it's not like I'm just waving it in his face or anything like that.
No,
I try to keep
Nanny,
my
nanny,
distance.
You're not teasing, taunting the cat with it?
No. So I
Slap
do
him in the side
keep
of the
my
head with it.
distance, but there's just I don't like the look that he gives. One, it's a little judgy, and I get a little offended.
I was going to say, is he like, huh?
Right.
That's all you got, huh? Yeah,
Okay.
You could be a cat with that. Hello, Marvin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, howdy.
Hola.
How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
great.
Thank you, sir.
Good. So, hey, I'm a long-time listener, first-time caller. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that or not.
Doesn't matter, man.
Yeah.
But cool. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks. So I got two stories for you. The first happened when I was a kid. I'm not going to try to remember the age, but I was really into skateboarding. And I tried to do a hill flip, but the board didn't cooperate, and so it stood straight up, and I landed on my tailbone.
Oh.
So it popped really loud, obviously fell to the ground and stuff. Now, I fractured it, and to this day, I can crack it.
You can crack your butt?
Yep.
Butt cracker.
That's cool. That's a cool party trick.
Tonight on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think my wife can
the
still
second
do it,
time-
too, because when she gave birth to our daughter, as my daughter was on her way out, broke my wife's tailbone.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Oh, yeah. It was a great time. Great time.
Butt cracker. Is that an oxymoron?
That was just the beginning of the pain.
See, it sounds bad when I say it.
Yeah, I got this one.
Ted, you do it. And what was your other story?
So the other one is I ended up getting scabies.
Ugh.
And, yeah, they're horrible. So my stepdad is a trucker, and he would go to Canada a lot and stay at hotels and stuff up there. So I say that he brought them into the household. He says it was my fault. However, you don't really know that you have scabies until they actually multiply. And then they'll start making colonies in you, and you'll start to, see bumps everywhere.
Mm-hmm. And red splotches and trails.
Right, exactly. So I ended up getting a bunch around my junk.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because I didn't know I had them, and, I'm a guy, got to relieve myself, so...
Did you know they were scabies when you started seeing evidence that they were there?
No.
Okay.
Had no idea, and they were the biggest bumps. I thought I had, some kind of, STD, but the thing is, at that point in time, I didn't have sex for, 5 years.
How unlucky would you be to get an STD and never had sex? So how long did it take you to bring this up? Because when it involves your junk, it's like you're trying to tell as few people as possible.
Right. See, the thing is that I'm very stubborn, and I don't like going to the doctors for various reasons.
Does anybody going to the doctor? You know what I mean? Nobody likes going, but when it's my junk, I'm there in a heartbeat.
I don't know, man. There's people out there that like clowns.
What you do realize those things are
It's more people that like clowns. I'm with Thrill. You don't have to explain. Most people are just I gotta go to the doctor.
Right. You realize that they're burrowing under your skin and multiplying and laying eggs.
Okay. Yeah. So I didn't know any of this until you learn about something really quick when it's growing
When it
on your
affects
junk,
you.
man. I'm
That's
just saying, yeah. Yeah, so I didn't know any of this, and I finally was like, man, this isn't going away. It started to itch really bad. I need to go to the doctor.
How many days?
The doctor squeezed.
How many days from the time you noticed it until you finally went to the doctor?
I would say that it started growing. By the time it started growing to the point that I went to the doctor, this was probably like a week, 7 days.
Okay, you were hanging in there. All right.
Right. Well, they got to the point where they're like the bumps were the size of my pinky finger, like the tip of my pinky finger.
Ew, man.
So I was like, yeah. So I went in. Doctor was like, okay, looked at it, and she was like, oh, we need to get you to dermatology like right now. So they called the dermatologist, and I heard on the phone. She was like, no, you need to see him. Like, make room. So I go in there, and then it's like two females there. She's like, okay, well, let's see what's going on. So I drop trow, and she looks at it, and she goes, so have you? And I go, had sex with a sleazy hooker? No. And she goes, well, what's going on? I was like, I have no idea. That's why I'm here. And she did like a little scrapey thing, and she was like, yep, it's scabies. So I had to take like medicine to kill them, and those little buggers do not like to die.
They do not. I'll tell you something else.
How long did it take from the time you took medication for them to go away, for your penis to return to normal?
You can feel the effects of the medicine they give you like almost within the hour. But it literally probably took like 2 days for like the balloons to go down.
Yeah, I've still got scarring from it. But I'll tell you this.
But you had them in your what? Arm?
I got my chest.
On your chest?
That's why I almost splotched you right through here.
Really? That's what that's from?
That's all that stuff, yeah. I believe your theory about your father being a truck driver and going to Canada. I'll tell you why. Because if he was staying in some just rural motels, which a lot of Canada is.
Sure.
You got a lot of people who go up there on hunting vacations or hunting for elk or whatever they're doing, and they stay in the hotels. So scabies, primarily you can get from skinning, gutting, cleaning.
Isn't that what you were doing with cleaning a deer or something?
I mean, that's how I got it.
Right.
So I could fathom. I don't know if that's how that happened, but I could fathom that would be a way.
Sure.
The fact that you're wearing camo, you're wearing all these things. You know, you do get something and you bring it in, sleep in the hotel room. Makes complete sense.
Well, I mean, they will transfer just by shaking hands with somebody that has them.
That's why I don't shake people's penis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right there. You just ruined my lifelong tradition.
Man, I only bump penises now.
Yeah.
It's like a fist bump. Helmet to helmet kind of contact. That's
there you go.
What happened from the waist down? 206-803-ROCK.
We call that headbutting, Miles. Hello, Rob. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to keep this short on the long version, so to speak. This was in the 80s. I was just got out of the military. I was dating this gal for a while, and we decided to get engaged. Well, she had an ex-boyfriend that had an ex-fiance that was getting married, his ex-wife. And so the previous week, I guess his ex-wife got a text saying that you're never going to be happy. Then my fiance got a text or a call saying that you'll never be happy and you'll never have kids. Well, Saturday comes and his ex-wife's fiance's car gets all of his windows broken out and seats slashed. And come Monday, I was at work at a fence company. I was throwing tie-down straps out of the back of a flatbed, and all of a sudden I feel both my thighs tighten up. Come to find out, I get shot in the legs.
Oh, my God.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, that was a fun experience.
So, did the police get involved in this, I'm assuming?
Sort of, but they couldn't track down who did it, but they sort of pinpointed where the shot came from.
Okay.
And we sort of narrowed it down to possibly her ex-boyfriend, because her ex-boyfriend, his job was, he was a mobile slaughterer that went around and, shot main animal stuff. His main rifle was a T-22. Well, guess what they pulled out of my leg?
So did that help them apprehend this guy?
No, because he had an alibi.
Aha.
That means he had a friend who lied for him. Yes.
What happened from the waist down? We've got your emails coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
Love the skin you're in with Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa's facial services. Enjoy the tranquility and deep relaxation while giving your skin a rejuvenating glow. All facials are tailored to your individual needs using the highest quality ingredients designed to give you healthy, radiant, and younger-looking skin. Visit any one of their 8 Seattle Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details. T-Mobile's network can help keep you connected to all your favorite podcasts when you're out and about. Whether you're an early bird looking to dive into a daily news podcast or a night owl who wants to catch up on the latest reality TV drama, T-Mobile will keep you connected on their strong and reliable network. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than anyone. So if you need great coverage, especially when you're on the go, check out T-Mobile. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY.
Odyssey celebrates Pride by amplifying the voices, music, and conversations of the LGBTQ+ community. Download the free Odyssey app and listen to podcasts celebrating and having conversations about the issues facing LGBTQ+ Americans, like It's Okay to Say Gay, Queer Intentions, and The Bald and the Beautiful with Trixie Mattel and Katia Zamo. To hear music by and for the LGBTQ+ community, plus podcasts and more, go to Odyssey.com/Pride or download the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.
Have you or a loved one been injured in an accident? Are you struggling to recover fair compensation? Look no further. At Phillips Law Firm, the experienced personal injury attorneys will fight for your rights and get you the justice and compensation you deserve. They handle a wide range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, medical malpractice, and workplace injuries. Justice is a phone call away, so don't wait. Call today for a free case review. Call 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Whether you're driving, cooking, or doing laundry, Progressive knows the podcasts you listen to go best when they're bundled with another activity. Much like how their Progressive home and auto policies go best when they're bundled. Having these two policies together makes taking care of your insurance easier and could help you save, too. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save nearly $800 on average. That's a whole lot of savings and protection for your favorite podcast listening activities, like going on a road trip, cooking dinner, and even hitting the home gym. Yep, your home and your car are even easier to protect when you bundle your insurance together. Find your perfect combo. Get a home and car insurance quote at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $793 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2021 and May 2022. Potential savings will vary.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
The debauchery rolls on. You're listening to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
From Alice in Chains, lead singer William Duvall coming up on the program, but first time for a few emails from the Men's Room at KISW.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
One from our question today, what happened from the waist down? Familiar subject. When I was a kid, my buddy was riding on my handlebars and slipped, slicing his scrotum completely open and severed one of his testicles. Worst part was it was the day before his birthday, so he spent his birthday with a bag of frozen peas on his junk. Good times, fellas. That from Batman.
Damn.
On to the birthdays. So, bitches, my beautiful daughter Courtney just had twins last Wednesday. These are her first and hopefully last. Can you wish her a happy birthday shout-out to herself and her brand new bundles of joy? Love you guys, long-time listener. Rock on, guys. That from Chris. Guys, today's my husband, Zach.
What, nothing?
They didn't want anything.
I just want to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. Guys, today's my husband Zach's 33rd birthday. He's an awesome kick-ass dad to our kiddo. Can he get a bong rip, some shotgun gets, and the Dirty Germans talking about getting a special birthday present tonight. Love to y'all. That from Dylan. Get.
Yeah, it's a special birthday present. You know, with the holiday of Easter around the corner, it might be a cranberry cream egg.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was surprised you with our new thing called throat yogurt. It's hand pumped.
Or throat yoga.
Yeah, throat yoga. Yeah, I'll practice that before I come over tonight. Down dog.
It's very relaxing.
Throat yoga.
It stretches you out.
Yeah.
That girl, I'm telling you, man, she must do throat yoga or something. Hey, I ain't never had a moment like that in my life.
I found calm in my life through throat yoga.
Yeah. And all my partners did.
Hi, I'm Lauren Bacall for throat yoga.
Guys,
I won't lie, our marriage has never been better. Shout out to throat yoga.
Today,
I didn't need Viagra or nothing.
I'm the Ted Smith for throat yoga.
Throat yoga.
Sign-ups are in the back.
Today marks another trip around the sun from my wife, Andrea. Could you please do the green bean song for her and follow it up with a "You Like That"? Thanks, guys. That from Chaz, your IT guy engineer down the hall.
Oh, Chaz! Green beans. Is that why you weren't here today, Chaz?
Oh, yeah.
Wife's birthday. You said that's an excuse to take a day off.
My wife and her birthday.
Or does your wife think you're at work and we just ratted you out?
All right.
You're at the strip club and you're not even with her.
I hope he's at home getting that green bean wet.
I was at
throat yoga.
So I get the email today. Now Chaz is the guy that is in charge of all the computers here and everything else that's engineering related. He and Phil. But if you have a computer problem, the first thing you want to do is you want to go talk to Chaz, and he fixes it in 10 seconds.
You know why? Because we don't have computer problems.
Mm-hmm. Not anymore.
We're stupid.
No,
it's not that. It's not. There's nothing wrong with the computer, and he's too nice to say, Thrill, you're a dumbass.
Right.
Someone say, hey, man, so I phrase it to him. I never say my computer's doing something. I say, I'm having a problem.
Yeah. So keep in mind, Chaz is the man when it comes to the IT world here at Odyssey, Seattle. So the email that he sends me is marked... warning, this might be a suspicious email account. Be careful opening or responding to this email address.
Come on, Chaz.
His personal email that he sent to us got blocked by our own server, and he's in charge of it all.
You like that?
Yeah.
You like that?
Isn't that something? But y'all want to get a birthday shout out because I'm turning the big 5-0 today. How about a Leroy Jenkins and Alan Thicke and the Germans telling me what can I expect now that my 40s are in the rear view mirror. Thanks, guys. That from Dan, the man in Auburn.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Look out.
Yeah, what can you expect when you get into your 50s? Well, suddenly everyone's older mother looks quite exciting now. That is basically what I've discovered. You're no longer interested in the daughter. You're like, wait, but who is your mother?
Yeah, exactly. It's the fun times. It's the college parties or the parents' weekend.
Yeah.
Hashtag good advice.
Sad but true.
So you find yourself at a frat party. You say to your friends, aren't these girls cold?
That's fun.
Yeah, that was real, Mike.
All right, guys, here we go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's world famous sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Bob. A couple extra emails here. Let's see. Yakima Fruit Stand has the salsa again.
Nice.
That is the subject heading. Gentlemen, the Yakima Fruit Market off of Highway 522 just west of beautiful downtown Bothell has reopened for the season. And after swinging by, I have indeed confirmed that they have shelf space dedicated to the works of San Juan Salsa Company, with 3 containers of Men's Room roasted red salsa in that particular cooler. Now go get you some salsa.
Yeah.
Tequila nachos, that from Dennis. That is a fantastic salsa. If you've not tried the Men's Room,
it is so good, man.
Roasted red salsa, man, it is probably at least... Other than being in Mexico with a pico that I like, but that's a completely
they're doing
different
it at
thing.
The table and making it. Yeah.
Exactly. I've never had a salsa that just had that kind of pop to it.
That's not a joke, man. Seriously, it is
cook
that
with
good.
it. Use it as a chip dip. Anything you want, man. You can't go wrong.
I use it for sexual lubricant.
Here's a nice email. We don't get those very often, but why not?
I didn't say it doesn't burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says, "Ola, gentlemen, and Ted. I've been a fan of the show because I lived in Seattle for a few years. Originally, I'm from Kansas and moved all over for my career. Where my wife and I are building roots happens to be on the East Coast, and I enjoy hearing stories about Baltimore. When we first moved east, we live in PG District Heights. Ted, do you know where that is?
District Heights?
Yeah.
I do.
What you guys say about the fast food workers on the East Coast is spot on. We lived in PG for 2 years, and after having a kid, realized it was time to get the hell out of there. Biggest lesson of District Heights, don't mess with anyone, and you won't get messed with. So we built a house in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia because we're too cheap to live in the DMV and way too much crime. So I enjoy hearing stories about West Virginia and Pennsylvania from you guys. Thanks for the laughs, and although I don't get to listen to you live, I'm a regular on your daily podcast on the Odyssey app to catch up on the show for my long commutes twice a week to BWI. Rock on, guys. That from Mitch. Very cool, Mitch.
Nice.
Been to BWI many times. Know that road well.
Oh, yeah.
And let's see here. One more. Hello, gentlemen. As far as what happened to your head, I was in a motorcycle accident in July of last year. I wasn't not wearing any protective gear. This is the one we brought up earlier, and got some gnarly road rash on my shoulder, arm, and head. I've attached a picture of my head after the accident. Also, in regards to Girl Scout cookies, Dollar General carries comparable store-brand cookies that taste just like Samoa's, and the Lemonade cookies. That from Steven, who listens to us in Kansas City.
Nice.
All right, let's see. We got him. All right, coming up, we are going to drink and toast with a shot of the day. But first, lead singer from the Giraffe Tongue Orchestra, Comes a Fall, Mad Fly. You know him best as the lead singer for Alice in Chains. William Duvall, how you been, man?
Man, I've been doing pretty good. Pretty good.
Staying busy. Got the Black Einstein look going on. I dig it.
You look like Ed Reed.
Yeah, man. You know, like, I'm taking a page out of the old Albert Einstein book, you know.
You look like a historical figure right now. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Frederick Douglass, everyone.
I'll take it. I will take it, dude. I really, you know.
I was told I look like a wise turtle, so I think you're getting the better end of things.
We see that you have we see that you have a new song there with the Who. Now I have to ask, because I'm sure this has happened to you. How many people, when you tell them that you're working with the Who, ask you what it's like to work with Pete Townsend?
Yeah, right. You know, the first thing you have to say when you say the Who is you have to spell it. And then you have to go into the whole explanation rap, you know, just to avoid that question, because that would be the inevitable.
When I first heard you're working with the Who, my immediate response was WHO, and I'm like, that's crazy, because I was like, is Roger Daltrey dead? Why would they do that? Seriously.
Oh my God.
I mean, really, man, I was like, wow, that is nuts. And they said, no, HU Who. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. So my question, how does that work? Do they come to you? Do you go to them?
Yeah, so I was approached by them, and you know, or through the intermediaries, and yeah, man, I was surprised and honored, and you know, and decided to take it on as kind of a welcome challenge. You know,
is there a language barrier there?
For sure, yeah, definitely. They apparently speak no English from everyone that I've talked to that, you know, is on their team. That's kind of the word, you know? So, I mean, this was one of those things where it really gets down to the language of music. And, so we worked remotely, right? I was sent all of their sound files, and, essentially I worked alone here in my house, actually, and I produced and mixed the whole thing here in my house, in this very room, as a matter of fact. And then I would, you know, send it off, and they would, you know, dig it, thankfully.
Are you sure? Because clearly you're not woke enough to speak Mongolian.
I know.
You know, you're going to be like that, but
you could brush up on it, though.
Yeah, you know what? This is an excuse to brush up and learn a little bit. It's definitely an interesting language. And, you know, from what I hear, you know, from them, and dealing with the Mongolian throat singing is also very interesting, you know, because, I mean, I never imagined that I might actually work on a rock record that had that type of singing on it, you know? So again, it was a welcome challenge. I mean, the whole thing here is that they have something going on that's very cool in its own right.
For sure.
And it's a really novel thing. It's a unique thing. And it's a strong and powerful thing. And it comes from a real genuine place of pride in their country and in their heritage, right? So my whole thing was, look, I need to compliment what's going on here, and I need to be myself on this record, but not, trample all over what they're doing and what makes them cool in the first place.
You would think that as much as your worlds collide in a weird way, whether it's a rock festival or wherever you could be at some point in time, that, there's going to be a weekend, there's going to be a day where both your bands are going to be playing. Alice in Chains will be playing, The Who will be playing. There's a possibility, right, that you could get on stage and do that one live, baby?
Dude, I would love that. And in fact, we've already, they've asked if I would ever be willing to do that, like even just fly out for a particular thing, like if they're doing a really high profile festival or something or an event. And I told them straight up I would love to do that. Yeah.
Is it your same singing voice, or do you have to change it to match the throat singing?
Oh, no. I wouldn't begin to try to approximate really what they're doing. I mean, but I did sing in multiple octaves. So, like I tried to create, effects and a dynamic that would work within their thing while still being me, because throat singing, that's a very particular kind of thing where you're having to distort your voice to create harmonics, like more than one note at the same time. And that's a very specific technique. So I wouldn't even pretend to go into that area. But I did utilize, my own thing as best I could to create as wide a range of vocals dynamically as I could.
So when they come to you with this, is it also the opportunity for you to develop your own melody and your own lyrics, or do they kind of already have that in place?
Oh, yeah. No, I wrote everything I did, music and lyrics. I tracked probably over a dozen guitar tracks. There were probably, there were over 50 vocal tracks.
Wow.
Right. Of just me, bass. I did whatever I needed to do. I essentially had to strip down the song, tear it all down and put it back together, kind of rebuild it with my new parts. So I took what they had and then I just kind of wrote a new song within that, and then had to edit all of their parts to fit my new arrangement. So there was a lot of instances where I had to take a vocal part or an instrumental part and make it fall rhythmically in a completely different place than where they had it. So there were a lot of kind of technical and engineering challenges. But again, this is where the rubber meets the road. For me, this was like, if this record's going to work, it's going to be because I can pull this stuff off.
Okay.
Right. So thankfully, it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Talking to William Duvall from Giraffe Tongue Orchestra.
It's true.
Well,
it's true, man.
How else do people
We
know
try
that?
to cover it all, brother.
That Rod Stewart, Young Turks from the Couch
That
Race
was
guys.
awesome.
That's
thank you.
That's cool as hell, man.
Thank you, man. Yeah, that was another thing that just came out of the blue, man. It was like I just got this text, actually from Susan Silver, of all people, right? So she, I mean, not that I say of all people, not that we're not communicating, but it's usually not about something like this. It was this interesting thing where this offer came from out of the blue, but the guy who was making the offer approached her first. So she was relaying his message. So that's where it was a trip to me. And I was like, wow. But
how the hell do they know that you could cover Rod Stewart so well?
I mean, you crushed that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Again, talk about a challenge. That's no joke. Getting into some Rod Stewart. That is no joke. But, again, it worked out well. I was really happy to do it. And it was during that era where we were all kind of doing, remote collaborations. Like it was that was just like that. I think that time will be marked by that, right? I mean, that's one of the few positives that came out of, that whole period was these really like wild collaborations that you would never expect. I'm really proud of that too.
Alice in Chains down the road. How soon is that? When are you back to that action?
No idea. We are all kind of just doing our own things. But inevitably it tends to kind of circle back after a while. We never say when, though, because we honestly don't know.
That's fair. So, you're talking about working with The Who and the idea that you strip down all the audio, you kind of recreate it. As you go through the process, is it nerve-wracking? Because inevitably, while you're part of this project, it is for someone. Like, I freak out helping my kids with their damn homework, man. You know what I mean? So I can't imagine a band sending me, you want to do a good job. I just, like a high-stress thing. Fun, but high stress.
Yeah, I mean, again, you have to kind of adjust your mindset to like, hey, this is a welcome challenge, and I want to really just focus on the objective here, right? So what are these guys, what are they hoping to achieve? The reason that they're even asking someone like me to be on this record is because they want to expand their reach into the West, into America and Europe and so forth. So what can I do here to facilitate that, right? And when I stay focused on the task at hand, or what I believe to be the task at hand, that really helps, because then I was able to plug into like, hey man, I really dig how proud these guys are of where they come from and who they are, and like their lineage and being part of this continuum. So let me like zoom in on that, right? Because we can all identify with that, right? Sure. We can all identify with wanting to be a part of something bigger than ourselves and seeing ourselves in this continuum. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to zoom in on that, and I'm going to try to make it, I'm just going to make it rock, and I'm going to try to take it to like anthemic, status, right? Where this could be at home in a soccer stadium or anywhere, right? An arena, whatever. And let's just see what happens with that. And again, thankfully they really loved it.
Have you ever actually met these guys?
No,
that's crazy. That's crazy.
They're amazing live.
So, I mean, so you've never met these guys. What do you, and look, obviously we know you can sing. It's what you do. But I mean, what do you think the process was that they said, you know what? Let's work with that cat from Alice in Chains. Well, I'm sorry, Giraffe Tongue Orchestra. I mean, that.
Yeah, let's get that right.
Huge project.
I have no idea what made them, ask me, but I'm glad they did. I'm really glad.
That's
they did.
really cool, though, man. That is very cool.
William Duvall, hopefully we'll see you in Seattle sometime soon. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Yeah, brother. Always good to talk to you guys, and good to see you again. Even though I can't see you right now, you might see me. I don't know.
Oh, we can see you. We see you, George Washington Carver.
Cool. Well, I look forward to actually seeing you guys down the road soon.
Hey, right on, man.
Thank you so much.
All right, fellas.
Hey, man.
Peace.
See ya.
Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive.
You diet, you work out, and still there's that one stubborn spot. Hey, it's Jason. I just went after my stubborn fat by doing cool sculpting at Tureen Dermatology, Minnesota's top cool sculpting provider. Dr. Tureen is my dermatologist. We froze my fat, and those fat cells are gone for good. FDA approved. No pain, no downtime. Ranked top doctor 8 years in a row. Trust the experts at Tureen Dermatology. Call today, 651-633-6883, and say goodbye to stubborn fat.
Love the skin you're in with Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa's facial services. Enjoy the tranquility and deep relaxation while giving your skin a rejuvenating glow. All facials are tailored to your individual needs using the highest quality ingredients designed to give you healthy, radiant, and younger-looking skin. Visit any one of their 8 Seattle Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
Did you know CD rates are having a moment? If you've been looking in the wrong places, you might have missed that CD rates are the best they've been in 15 years. No joke. It's the right time to find rates in your best interest because better rates allow your money to earn more money. CD Valet brings you the clearest picture of today's rates, all compiled in one place. Ditch the BS of biased rate shopping and visit cdvalet.com to see today's straight-up rates.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
William Jamal absolutely kills that one. I mean, he does. Yeah. Come to events, we'll drink it tills with the shot of the day. We do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, there's a popular beer in Australia called Watermelon Sour that's been recalled due to, quote, excess alcohol.
I'm in. Just
right.
Name alone.
That is a...
Excess alcohol? What did you think was in it?
Well, fruit kind of expedites that process, doesn't it? Expedites that process.
You'd think.
Well, have you ever seen the guys that do the watermelon that they fill up with vodka and all the things, kind of just make the actual watermelon casing basically your fruit bowl?
Yeah.
Well, it's because the fruit puts the sugar in there. The next thing you know, man, the longer it sits on the shelf.
Oh, wow.
Look out.
The world's first flying bike just hit the market in Japan for about $550,000.
A flying bike, bad idea.
Apparently, it looks like the speeders from Return of the Jedi.
I can believe that. Look, if you already complained about how people drive, do you want them to fly? If it's you get a pilot's license, you go, all right, this is a select group of people that know what they're doing.
Right.
Flying bike, no. I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there.
Yeah, if you already bitch about drivers, just imagine your average driver, as we all seem to perceive other drivers, now flying.
Right.
It seems real bad.
I think it's like jet skis. I know two different stories of people wrecking them. But same thing, like there's not brakes on them. Like sure, it's a whole lake. There's plenty of room.
Right.
You still manage.
Yeah, so I'm with you. Flying bikes, like that's going to end poorly.
Chuck E. Cheese apparently still uses floppy disks to make its rat mascot dance.
That makes sense because the dance is pretty archaic.
Right.
They don't need to upgrade it.
No.
Right? I mean, it's
fine the way it is.
It is, yeah.
Didn't they... I thought there was like a cartoon. Like they updated him in pictures.
Correct.
In pictures,
but
yes.
But if you go to Chuck E. Cheese, it's still the same dude.
Dirty ass rat,
yeah. Ah, goodness.
To Chuck E. Cheese, you dirty rat.
Oh, mercy.
I mean, the way you say it, I'm just like,
dirty rat.
Dirty rat.
Ted Smith, our resident seltzer guy.
What's up?
You ready to what's coming this summer? Sunny D Seltzer.
I will try it. There is no doubt about that.
Sunny D Seltzer.
Like, I was never a huge Sunny D fan to begin with.
Oh, I was.
I thought it was... I don't know why. I thought it was like too sweet or something. I don't know. It had a funny taste. But now that it's a hard seltzer, I'm in.
Sure. When I think about Sunny D, I think about a weekend in hedonism. Maybe a week vacation.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a seltzer I haven't tried.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I was going to say, especially with your help.
Yeah, well, yeah.
If there's a specialty seltzer, like, Mike's on it.
You know it,
I won't try it.
All right.
Yeah, whenever there's a party, I'll show up with the weirdest seltzers. Like, we got to try them, man. Let's give them a go.
What do we have, the sour or the sours? And I was like, it's good, but it just tasted like you were drinking candy, which was too much.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't like them. I just would prefer on the crispness like a good crisp Pilsner. I still like the taste of beer. So if I'm going to get, if I'm going to go that route,
it's not a bad
It's not
call.
that I don't like seltzers. I just really like the taste of a crisp Miller Lite, whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was at a beer place last night, and the lady looked at me weird as I ordered a San Juan watermelon seltzer. I was like, oh, it's on draft. She was like, you know what that is? Like, yeah.
Well, they had it on draft.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
They got a whole seltzery.
Yeah, Kari hooked me up with an entire tab in my kitchen.
That's cool.
All right.
Yeah, it might be nice. Maybe the guy that drank them got some cool stuff.
Sure.
Well, I think if we've learned anything, we've learned that the people are different. The people experience life different. And sometimes they even call things by different names, which does bring us to...
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
10 things that have totally different names across the U.S. Like Shinebox. Sure, to one person it might be the kit you use to shine people's shoes. To another individual in another line of work. It'd be a way of putting someone in their place, or simply telling them to go themselves.
Alrighty, thank you. So these are the things that have totally different names across the U.S. I'll see if I can get as vague as I can. The first one that they have on this list: you walk up to your sink, you turn the water on. Where does the water come from in your sink?
Faucet. Yep.
Some people call it the spigot.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. If it's a spigot, to me, it's outside.
I agree. Correct. Totally. There you go.
Okay. The hose is a spigot. Inside, it's a faucet.
That's exactly where I'm at.
And I don't know why, but like only in the kitchen when I say faucet. In the bathroom, it's like just wash your hands.
The sink.
Right.
Right.
I don't know why.
I'm with you. I am with you. Let's see here. Where do you buy your spirits from if you don't have a grocery store that has that particular hard
liquor store?
Right. Now, some people, I like this. I'm going to start calling this. They call it the party store.
Okay. All right.
Some people call it the packy or state store.
I've heard packy.
So package store is a big thing, too, especially in like PA.
I was going to say, in Pennsylvania, you hear the state store because they have these weird, archaic-ass rules.
Okay.
So where you can buy beer and liquor is separate than that's the only thing they sell is beer and liquor and maybe Slim Jims. So they just call it the state store because the only store you go to that's run by the state is the liquor store.
That's right.
I heard
But keep in mind, Pennsylvania, they call them package stores because you can buy beer at bars and take it to go.
Yes.
So if you want a 6-pack of beer, you go to a bar, you walk in, you buy the 6-pack, you walk out, instead of going into a 7-Eleven. Right. If you want to buy a case of beer, you have to go to the packy stores or the state stores.
Right.
It is so messed up in PA. They make it so difficult for you to enjoy yourself.
Well, and like, look, where I lived in PG County, like the place I worked at, Town Hall, one side of it was a liquor store or package store. The other side was a bar.
Right.
And then, you have no idea, Mike. Like in Maryland, right? Like the county I lived in, only 3 liquor stores could sell liquor on Sundays.
Oh.
But if you go next door to Montgomery County, like other stores can sell liquor, but they can't sell cold beer.
Right, so you can buy beer, but yeah, it's
they had all these blue laws to keep people from having fun on Sunday.
Sure, sure.
Day of rest and relaxation, my ass.
The next one, say you're either maybe you're a little bit scared, maybe you have a cold breeze that rolls through. These little dimples show up on your arms. Right.
Pea shiver.
Some people call them duck bumps.
Duck
really?
bumps.
I've never heard that one.
I've heard goose pimples as well, but I feel like that's a different kind of a thing.
Looks like the skin on your chicken.
Duck bumps. That just sounds like something you say in Oklahoma or Texas.
Yeah, right. You got the duck bumps.
Yeah. Are you scared?
They show up just before you take one out the sky. How about you're driving down the road? These are things that have totally different names across the U.S. You're driving down the road and you see one of these and it's going to wreck up your tires. It's deep. They never get fixed.
Potholes.
Correct. Some people call them chug holes or chuck holes.
Really? Never heard that one.
Does your list say where they say this stuff?
No, they don't, Ted. No, they do not.
I asked.
But then again, when you start thinking about it, why is pothole normal but chug hole is not?
Right. It doesn't matter. Right? Exactly. You're right.
There's no pot in this hole. It was not created by a pot. Why is it a pothole?
I guess in theory, without a lid, the pot is a hole.
Ooh. Blow your mind,
look out.
Ted's blowing minds over here. What do you put on on top of a cupcake? Usually it's piped Frosting?
Icing.
Okay, that is exactly what it is. Frosting or icing. Some people do have a difference between the two. I think one of them is like creamier.
There is a definitive difference between the two. I only know that because we asked it for Big Dummy. I do not remember what the difference is. So there is a technical difference, but I don't remember. And inevitably, you're going to call it what you
right.
I also think it just depends on flavors. Like if my mom made
chocolate frosting, right, a creamy icing, right?
If she made like cream cheese icing, I don't know.
Sure.
That's what it was. But you're right.
If
we
it's
bought chocolate
frosting. Yeah.
Right.
And something can be frost. I've never heard of an iced donut.
Well, let's take it one step further. After the frosting, what else do you put on top?
Sprinkles.
Jimmy's.
Or Jimmy's.
Well done. Yes. Yeah. Jimmy's or sprinkles.
Rainbow bits.
I've only ever heard them Jimmy's just as a fun fact. Like, hey, in some other parts of the country, they call these Jimmy's.
It's about 50-50 on the East Coast, I would say.
Yeah. And do Jimmy's just have to be brown or black, and then the colored ones are
sprinkles?
Yeah.
You know what? That might be, like we're saying with frosting and icing, there probably is some specific difference.
It was a massive argument in my family for years.
You know what? We will settle with Big Dummy with our 50-50.
Yeah.
Which one is colored? Which one are brown? Right? Is it frosting or icing, or is the sprinkles or Jimmy?
My uncle will just annoy the whole family. They're Jimmy's. I don't know what you're asking for. Like if you've been on vacation, you go to an ice cream shop and you go, I don't know what that means. You ask for sprinkles.
Damn it. Things that have totally different names across the U.S. Yet again, we're back out onto the roads. They are these big old circles or round things that are in the middle of an intersection. Yes, roundabouts.
Or rodeos.
Or circles.
Or traffic circles. Or rotary, as they'll call
rotaries.
them.
Rotaries, right.
Basic thing you need to know about those things is if people are not used to them,
be careful.
Then they don't know what the hell they're doing.
No.
Which is just like, oh my God, people. Figure this out.
Great over top video of people just going the complete wrong way on the doggone thing.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's really bad. Keep your heads on a swivel over there.
And it is weird because they're big in Massachusetts. If you live somewhere where you've always seen them, they're not hard. But I've been in a car and somebody's like, I've never been in one of these, and completely went the wrong way.
Mm-hmm. How about while you're walking around the grocery store, what do you use to pack all the stuff in?
Your cart.
Yeah, your buggy.
Yeah, exactly. Cart, carriage, or buggy.
That's got to be old school East Coast. They call it a buggy in England, right?
Right. It was coming from England, no doubt.
Mm-hmm. How about let's see here. While you're walking around the park, you need to get a little drink. There's these lovely little stands, water fountains, right? Bubbler. Well done, Ted. The bubbler or the drinking fountain?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. I call it a water fountain, but I know a lot of people do. I'm guessing most of them are over 60.
Go grab a sip at the bubbler. That just sounds like it should be more fun than a doggone water fountain.
Yeah, bubbler.
Yeah.
It does sound a lot more fun.
Well, it's also a term in, smoking weed.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, fair enough.
It is. A little water in there.
Let's see here.
Haven't seen one of those in a while, though.
So these last two, they're in pretty good contention. These are things that have totally different names across the U.S. What do you call the end pieces of a loaf of bread?
Heel.
I've heard the butt, the heel.
I'm a heel person, too.
I just call them the ends. The end pieces.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Heel, end, cool. Crust, or butt.
It's the worst way to make a sandwich.
I don't mind the crust all that much.
I don't mind it as an adult. As a kid, you're just like, nah. I'm not eating this. It's like, it's just bread, eat it. Nope, can't do it.
Nope, cannot do it.
Dude, you're right. I mean, I remember being just upset at lunch because
even if one of the pieces was that as a kid, you won't do it. I've seen it with my kids. Like, as an adult, I'm like, they're actually kind of goddamn delicious.
I like the heel if you're dipping it in sauce.
Ooh,
yeah, sure.
Yes, sir.
It has its place.
Makes a great grilled cheese in a tomato soup.
Does not make a good PB&J, is what I've discovered.
It's still okay. I've done it. And a pinch.
Just a little extra J, so. But then the number one thing that is in complete contention with having totally different names all across the U.S. Ted, you had one earlier today, and you asked me if there was a difference between the zero and the regular flavors.
Oh, Coke.
A Coca-Cola, Pepsi. What do you call those things?
Well, if you're in Texas, Coke.
Coke?
I grew up calling everything Coke.
Or pop.
Yeah.
You get soda pop, there's soda. Yeah.
When I grew up, it was soda. Mm-hmm. We just, grab me a soda.
In Pennsylvania, I hear pop a lot. Like Pennsylvania and Ohio, I hear a lot of pop.
Also, it depends on the content of the conversation. So if you're in conversation with someone like, yeah, man, Ted will say, I only drink sodas on Sundays. But if you were in a bar and ordered one, he'd say, I want a Coke. Or whatever the deal is. You know what? That's a good point. So it just depends on the, if I go to Dick's, I'll go like, yeah, give me a Coke, a, cheeseburger, Dick's Deluxe, and some fries. They understand that. But if I'm talking about it, I'll say like, yeah, maybe have soda once or twice a week.
That's a very good point, dude. You're right.
I feel it.
It's kind of like the icing and frosting thing. I don't know why there's a difference.
Right. They also do toss tonic in there as well, which I thought tonic was a specific kind of soda.
I've never heard tonic. I hear Coke.
There's tonic water.
Right. Which I don't know why that's different than regular soda water, but there is a different deal.
Massive difference. Yeah. And tonic water has, you might as well just drink a soda. It has just as much sugar and calories.
No kidding.
That's why, a few years ago, or 10, 15 years ago, people started drinking vodka soda
instead of vodka tonics.
Right.
Gotcha. And if you go to any other country in the world, when you go to a restaurant, they ask you if you want bubbles or flat.
Always.
As far as your water.
Always.
All right.
So that's the first item that you get
flat every time.
You want flat or bubbles?
Team Bubbles.
Team Bubbles.
Team Flat.
A woman's complaint ended up with her in jail. Tell us all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, it's going to get tested online for Profile This at 206-803-ROCK.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit Max.com.
T-Mobile's network can help keep you connected to all your favorite podcasts when you're out and about. Whether you're an early bird looking to dive into a daily news podcast or a night owl who wants to catch up on the latest reality TV drama, T-Mobile will keep you connected on their strong and reliable network. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than anyone. So if you need great coverage, especially when you're on the go, check out T-Mobile. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY.
Odyssey celebrates Pride by amplifying the voices, music, and conversations of the LGBTQ+ community. Download the free Odyssey app and listen to podcasts celebrating and having conversations about the issues facing LGBTQ+ Americans, like It's Okay to Say Gay, Queer Intentions, and The Bald and the Beautiful with Trixie Mattel and Katia Zamo. To hear music by and for the LGBTQ+ community, plus podcasts and more, go to Odyssey.com/pride or download the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Have you been in an accident that wasn't your fault? Feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next? Look no further. The personal injury attorneys at Phillips Law Firm are here to help. Phillips Law Firm understands that accidents can turn your life upside down. That's why they're dedicated to fighting for the compensation you deserve and to making the process as stress-free as possible. Don't wait any longer. Call now, 1-800-JUSTICE, or visit justiceforyou.com.
Let's face it, sometimes multitasking can be overwhelming. Like when your favorite podcast is playing and the person next to you is talking and your car fan is blasting, all while you're trying to find the perfect parking spot. But then again, sometimes multitasking is easy, like quoting with Progressive Insurance. They do the hard work of comparing rates so you can find a great rate that works for you, even if it's not with them. Give their nifty comparison tool a try, and you might just find getting the rate and coverage you deserve is easy. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection. Then you'll see Progressive's direct rate, and their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up and ready to compare. So it's simple to choose the rate and coverage you like. Press play on comparing auto rates. Quote at Progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hey, it's Mike Hawk. Join me every Thursday at 1 p.m. exclusively on the Odyssey app as we go live with Odyssey. Join in on the action as we cover interesting facts, top 10 lists, and some fun new games. Follow the Men's Room page on the Odyssey app and join in all the fun Thursday afternoons at 1.
Already we made it to drinking time.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Thrill-Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and today we toast an unidentified, quote, older man from Hanover, Ontario, Canada. All right? So let's face it, the world, we know this scary place, and if you have kids, you really need to pay attention to this stuff. So cops in Hanover, they picked up what they call, quote, a suspicious older male last week. He was trying to hand out candy to kids. So he pulled over his car, went up to a young boy walking home from school, offered him a box of chocolates. Obviously, everyone's red flag grows up. So kids today are smart about this stuff. So the kid said no, but the guy was insistent. He then said, well, if you don't want them, maybe your mom would. Well, cops eventually tracked this guy down who got under everybody's skin, and they questioned him. But in the end, they didn't arrest him. And here's why. Because no good deed goes unpunished. This old man, he was trying to participate in the Random Acts of Kindness Day. So he, honest to God, was approaching people, trying to do good things. But even when you're a good person, that makes you suspicious. The cops are called on him. But they absolutely believed him. He was just like, you got to be kidding me. So, yeah, Random acts of kindness day. Maybe don't participate, because if you're a good person, people don't believe it to be true. Mm-hmm. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy. Yummy! So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Thrill, could you please, everyone, Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Gil. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. All right, Gil, you understand how this here game is played?
Yeah, I've heard it a time or two.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of 4 categories. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have bite me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? Interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone. And finally, hit me with your best shot, where you guess the unconventional weapon that someone chose to use as a weapon.
Oh, hit me with your best shot.
All right, hang on here. Goddamn story on photos. All right, here is the story. We go to Cutler Bay, Florida, where a 32-year-old man faces multiple felony charges after police say he decapitated a pet snake during a domestic dispute. It's Florida, Ted. Don't give me that look.
Why's that problem?
Of course. Now, according to the Miami-Dade Police Department, officers responded to the Saga Bay Garden apartment complex just after 5:20 in the morning after receiving reports of a domestic dispute. The report states that officers arrived, knocked on the door, and could hear a man and a woman arguing, and then soon after, the woman screaming. Police say they could hear the woman yell, quote, just kick the door in. So after making entry, police say they saw Kevin Mayorga running behind the door, attempting to close it in order to shut the victim in and hold her against her will. Well, police said the Mayorga disregarded commands to put his hands up, and he attempted to use a taser on him, but it didn't work. The report continues to state that as officers handcuffed this guy, he swung at them and hit one of the officers in the eye with the handcuff. Now, officers did eventually manage to detain this guy, but the woman told police that Mayorga took off the head of her pet snake, which was a ball python. Police said officers then saw the snake and its severed head sitting next to the entry door. Mayorga faces charges of animal cruelty with intent to kill, false imprisonment, resisting arrest, blah, blah, blah. The question is, how did he decapitate the snake? Was it with a meat cleaver, a butcher's knife, a box cutter, or his own teeth? So meat cleaver, butcher's knife, box cutter, or his own teeth. How did he decapitate the snake?
Say that would be awesome.
What's that?
I want to say with his teeth because I just think that would be awesome.
Okay, butcher knife, meat cleaver, teeth. What am I missing?
Hold on. Butcher knife, meat cleaver, box cutter, or his own teeth.
I don't know. What do you think, Ted? I'm going to go with teeth, I think, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I mean, the insanity would be teeth, but also it's a python. Man, I think he's that mad. I think he did it with his teeth.
I mean,
you going teeth? Teeth.
I got to say, if the guy is crazy enough to try to swing on a police officer with his hands cuffed behind his back, he's probably crazy enough to try to bite the head off a snake.
Yeah,
You're going to go with teeth, Gil.
And you said it was a baby snake, right? Or pet snake?
It's just a pet snake. I do not know the age of the snake.
All right, so Gil, you're going to go teeth along with Ted, right?
Teeth, 1,000%.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to go meat cleaver because it seems like the logical weapon. We're going to find out what was the decapitation tool there. Was it a meat cleaver, a butcher knife, a box cutter, or teeth next?
That was a teeth. Imagine you're looking at a balancing scale with everything you do for other people on one side and everything you do for yourself on the other side. If it isn't balanced, maybe it's time to spend a little more time on you. And therapy is a great place to start. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist online who can help you find that balance and stick to it. Visit BetterHelp.com/positive to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp.com/positive.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, the category is hit me with your best shot on profile. This Florida man faces multiple charges after decapitating a pet snake during a domestic dispute. I'm assuming the snake was his girlfriend's or wives or whatever the deal was.
I don't know. I don't understand what was happening.
Police were called, but the man was still swinging at the cops when they showed up. So the question is, what did he decapitate the snake with? Was it a meat cleaver, a butcher knife, a box cutter, or his own teeth?
Yes, indeed. And, Gil, that's the question that we asked you. And, Miles, we'll start with you. You said the meat cleaver, it makes the most sense. Yep. And because it makes sense, you got to remember this happened in Florida. If it makes sense, that's probably not the answer. That's the Florida way, right? So, Gil, you and Ted, and I don't know if it's because you think it was teeth or if you just deep down desperately hope this dude put a snake's head in his mouth and bit the goddamn thing in half, which, from what I know, a snake's sort of like a solid muscle. That is impressive.
If it happened.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's nothing but a muscle and bone. And you guys think this guy bit through it, which is ridiculous. But it's Florida. So you're correct.
That is
This dude
and evil.
I don't know what they were fighting about. Obviously, he's insane. But he grabbed this snake, put the head, and this is a freaking ball python, put the head in his mouth, bit its head off. I mean, I've had trouble with, like, chewy steak. I'm just saying a snake is nothing but a single muscle, and it's an in-shape muscle based on how the life they have to live, and then it's bones. And this guy just bit through it.
Yeah, and he's got to be on drugs or just that much rage.
I'm guessing he may have been on drugs. It was 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, yep.
Right. Just saying. 5:30 in the morning domestic.
Now for all TV news, all time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
Oh, there it is.
No, you got two. Just the other volume's lower. See, here's one. Then
one's pre, one's post vasectomy.
Correct. Pre-vasectomy.
All right, you got the
post-vasectomy.
You got the Jimmys.
Fallon Kimmel.
Writers.
Okay,
nice callback.
Seth Meyers. Thank you. Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's right there in the title. It's guys have teams of talented writers help them come up with the monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Amid a nationwide bird flu outbreak, the Biden administration is considering mass poultry vaccination. It's going to be weird when KFC says their chickens are all vaxxed and waxed.
Fallon. Yeah, Fallon.
Yeah, it's Fallon.
Amid a nationwide bird flu outbreak, the Biden administration is considering mass poultry vaccination. It would be weird when KFC says their chickens are all vaxxed and waxed.
The Justice Department filed a lawsuit to block JetBlue's merger with Spirit Airlines, which is actually positive news because lately, when you hear about JetBlue merging with another airline, it's on the runway.
Either Fallon or Writers.
I would say The Ted Smith.
I'm going to go Writers.
Fallon.
Damn it. The Justice Department filed a lawsuit to block JetBlue's merger with Spirit Airlines. It's actually positive news because lately when we hear about JetBlue merging with another airline, it's on the runway.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has said he is willing to pick up tennis star Novak Djokovic in a boat and bring him to Florida to get around the rules of foreigners entering the U.S. without a vaccination, which is odd because a bulk of DeSantis' campaign is keeping foreigners in boats out of Florida.
That's a little ironic.
Yeah.
The Ted Smith.
Fallon.
Smith.
Yeah.
Columbia University will no longer require SAT or ACT scores in undergraduate admissions, while UMass announced yesterday you no longer need that show and tell project.
Oh, God. Seth Meyers.
Yeah,
it's Seth.
Columbia University last week announced they will no longer require SAT or ACT scores in undergraduate admissions, while UMass announced that you no longer need that show and tell project.
That's a hard school to get into.
Right, but he's a Boston guy. You got to keep trying.
Okay. That's how I knew it was Myers, just based on the college that he picked. Like, okay.
Right, and when you talk about Boston, I just watched the whole thing about it, right? Like, it's one of the oldest cities in the States.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to say their state house in the middle of the city is like one of the, if not one of the oldest buildings in America.
Gotta be.
But also, like, Boston basically has started because the universities and everything. So it's not just Harvard and Boston College,
all
and
the rest
BU,
of the schools,
Cambridge, UMass, Tufts.
Yeah,
which
I
is
know.
a very good school.
MIT.
Do you think anyone from
MIT,
Boston actually gets into those schools?
Some people do.
I mean, I know some people do, but you meet someone from Boston,
It's very
and this is
rare.
not a disrespect, but it's like meeting someone from Philly or from D.C. or from Baltimore, right? You're tough. You go to the seats and but like, you probably went to school in New Jersey. Because all the New Jersey guys go to school in Maryland and Pennsylvania. Like, it's weird, but like in New Jersey, Pennsylvania to a degree, certainly in Massachusetts, these schools, they're so upper echelon. And what's crazy is like 98% of the people that live in those areas, they don't go to those schools. You are not getting in there, right?
No. And Cambridge, where Harvard is
I mean, we know
it's
what
Harvard,
they are, right?
But I'm saying, like, that's what I'm saying. That's why I love whatchamacallit, right next door where my cousin lived. I can't think of the name of that neighborhood now. But, like, you're talking like a block apart.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. But you can get to the University of Maryland. That's for sure.
All right. This is a crazy one. You know what? I'm just going to play their promo, and you can listen to it.
You're on a game show right now.
Kevin Hart and Nick Cannon are coming to E! for the mother of all game shows.
Having my baby with Nick Cannon. You got
Oh, my God.
You're going to get some contestants that want to have your baby.
We're not kidding around.
Meeny, meeny, miny. Let's go!
Who's Having My Baby with Nick Cannon, hosted by Kevin Hart. This spring, only on E!
Isn't this the 10th season of that?
Right. So he's fathered 12 children with 6 different women.
All 12.
He's basically known for that. Now, so the game show, Who Wants to Be His Next? It's called Who's Having My Baby? It's hosted by Kevin Hart. People still aren't sure. Nobody's saying it's a joke. They're saying it's real. Which, I mean, he's purposely going out and just impregnating people. Like, I know he had a whole thing about it. I don't get it.
But he pretty much admits it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, you got the money to do it. Do it if that's what you want to do. I give him credit for at least admitting, like, oh, yeah, this is what I want to do.
I would just think, though, like, he's already got 12 kids.
Right. Here's my thing. Are you active in their life?
Mm-hmm. Correct. Because as much as he works, right,
even if
I'm
he
not
had
saying
3 kids with one woman, as much as he worked, and look, credit to him for working, but you're right, man. If you had 3 kids, one woman, you got a house, like, you hear the stuff all the time. You work so much because he hustles all the time. Like, you're never home one way or another.
That's what I'm saying. And, like, I mean, any kids are hard, but it's like 12 of them?
Sure.
12,
you have a weekend off.
They're only hard if you're there for them, Ted.
You're like, baby, I know we have 3 kids here, but I'm going to invite my 9 others over for the weekend to stay and just have family time. And she's like, okay. What do you do, run to Costco and buy the big pan-sized trays?
Right.
Like, how the hell do you pull
But
that
I guess
off?
the plus side with 12 kids is there's got to be a couple of them old enough to watch the other ones. But it's 6 different moms. So I imagine they all live in different...
benefit.
No, they're all coming over.
Keep having kids so we can get a goddamn babysitter.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they got to live in different places and everything. I don't know. That's a wild one. Also, that just seems weird. Like, I'm hoping it's kind of a joke. Maybe it's like a love show. It just seems very odd to be like, all right, who am I going to impregnate next? Because at this point, there's like, I thought with the other women, at least, like, there was somewhat of a relationship.
Sure.
Or even if you say, all right, it's a one-night stand, it happened. But But it seems odd to purposely be like, she's like, I need some of your money. And he's like, I want to make another baby.
And so I'll give you some of my money.
It's a business transaction.
It's not even a mistake. You're right.
Like, I've always wanted to have a kid. If I can have someone that supports a kid, probably not going to be in their lives much, but it's going to be
didn't that have a
child of a famous person
business
or whatever
transaction, man.
Well,
they already
you're going to get alimony, right? Exactly.
They already, even in the best of time. I'm with my wife. The kids are a business transaction. My daughter told me Saturday Comic-Con, right? She wanted this hoodie, and she had gone off with her friends, found it, came back, and I said, "Oh, you didn't find anything you liked?" She goes, "Well, it did, but I don't know if you want to buy it." I'm like, "What is it? Just show me." It's just a hoodie, right? No big deal. It's like $40. Yeah, I said, "Baby, I'll get you the hoodie." That's why we're here. We're doing this thing. And she said with Dad, I don't want to be too expensive. And I looked at her. I said, baby, the moment you were born, you were expensive. This is about having fun.
It's $40
you
for a
don't,
and you'll wear it.
I will spend more than $40 on you in any given day because you're a living, breathing thing that I am absolutely legally obligated to keep alive.
Can she take it off?
You cost my... Luckily, it was not that one.
Right,
Jesus, that's a whole other story. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm like... This is $40. It's something you want. I'm like, you cost more money for the things that you need for than anything ever that you want. Don't worry about it.
Miles, can you hit the breaking news bed?
Come on, man. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Miles, we need the breaking news.
Breaking news.
You're the breaking news guy.
Dude,
that's your thing.
That's 50% of why they hired you.
75.
What am I supposed to do?
75%.
I'm the breaking news guy. That's like cool. Yeah.
All right, breaking news. Kevin Hart announced his latest project, Celebrity Prank Wars, on Wednesday. So, Nick Cannon finding a baby mama is not real.
Okay, all right.
It's just and hey, good work, because I look like an idiot right now with egg all over my face.
Well, we already speculated.
We already
speculated that at the beginning of the segment. Like, is this for real?
That's why breaking news
they got me, all right? I got duped.
Yeah, but then you had the breaking news.
I got.
You saved yourself.
Oh, thank you, Mike, brought this.
I thought you had to go to the bathroom, Mike. I saw you get up and just run out of the studio.
Well, I think the fact that Kevin Hart is hosting it kind of makes it like, all right, guys, what are you up to?
But dude, we weren't sure.
You're right. But then I heard the promo, and I was just like, screw it. I'm going to talk about it. I'm like, just doesn't feel right, man. I was like, yeah, because it's not. It's a prank show. Anyhow, the show premieres on April 6th. Good job, Kevin. You got me. The duo will take their friendly feud up top notch. The branching out includes some of their friends. Obviously, it'll be co-hosted by Cannon and Hart. Obviously, it'll be funny. And look, I mean, as long as I can remember, right? When I was a kid, what was the show with Ed McMahon? Was it Bloopers?
Him and Dick Clark. Yes.
Right, and there was a blooper show, but sometimes they had pranks in there, too.
Yes.
Right? They had setup stuff. So, I mean, like, prank shows to me are always going to be funny.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I mean? Like, Punk'd was awesome. It just got to a point where I think all the other celebrities knew it was going on.
You knew it was going on, right.
So even in Practical Jokers, the people who don't know what's going on when the ridiculousness is going down, you know.
Yeah. Speaking of prank shows and doing stuff realistically, Jackass was a massive show.
Right.
So there's a new show on history called The Greatest of All Time, hosted by an NFL quarterback that's not Tom Brady. It's Peyton Manning.
Okay.
So I was watching an episode the other night. They had on the greatest daredevils of all time. All right.
Okay.
That's why I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago we were talking about the Red Bull guy. And I was like, technically he wasn't in space.
I figured you had just found that out because you were so...
Just learned it.
This is Ted's tell.
Is he the guy that free fell from...
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Ted will not give a lot of information, but it's very emphatic and it's very clear that he's correct. So when you said he wasn't in space, I'm like, I know this mother effer just saw this within the last week. I know he just saw this in the last week.
I've seen it the night before.
But he still owns the record for the largest...
no one can deny that.
It's not that. It's just this show...
wasn't in space, right?
Correct. So Peyton Manning's hosting it. He introduces them. It's Peyton Manning. So, of course, he loves everybody on there. But it's like a top 10 list. But when they got to him, you also have Neil deGrasse Tyson and a couple other, astrophysicists or just space,
space people.
Just say space people.
They have people that are well educated on a lot of things. It's not just other daredevils.
Lando Calrissian.
And they were just like, they're like,
are you Lando Calrissian? I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, goddammit.
Space.
So they were like, don't get us wrong. It's an amazing feat. But he wasn't in space. Now, Miles, you're correct. It's an amazing feat.
Right.
And when that guy did it, they weren't sure that his body wouldn't just collapse upon itself.
Or go fly
remember hearing that. Yeah. I remember hearing that when he did it, and he goes, that's kind of the danger of the jump is, look, man, we believe, if you survive, we believe you will land.
Right.
We don't know that you'll survive.
When they filmed him, it looked like the darkness of space from where he was jumping from. It looked like he was in a black void,
They were just picking stuff. Myles, you'll be happy. Your Valendas were profiled on there a lot.
They need to be on there, dude.
Interesting fact. They were starting the tight wire walk and stuff. They go up to New York City to do it in the circus. Their net arrives late, so they just did one show without a net. The newspapers, everybody in the audience is like, this family's crazy. And they were like, all right, we'll stick with it.
We got to stick with it.
Oh, and then then years later, there's a horrible accident. A bunch of them die. And then the father, just after a while, was like, screw it, I'll just do it on my own. And then if you've heard Miles Montgomery say, a few times that eventually he does one in Puerto Rico, and he falls the dice.
That was the end of that.
Yeah.
I wonder what the family felt like. We're going to do it without nets. Like, what? Hey, Dad, what now?
You know, like if they have a plaque where the old home plate was in a stadium that was memorable, like Babe Ruth played or whatever.
Yeah.
They don't have anything like that in Puerto Rico.
Right.
Well, it's just
like a
amazing
splash plate.
how good the whole family was. The only person that broke his record was his son that did it down in the Grand Canyon. But everybody was on there, right? Evel Knievel, Space Jump guy.
But I'm serious. If I'm doing the Grand Canyon, I got a parachute.
But that show on history is pretty good if you check it out. It's called The Greatest of All Time. And it's Peyton Manning. He's running down lists, you know, whether it's greatest daredevils, some type of food or beverage or sports athlete. It's a pretty good show. Check it out.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Love the skin you're in with Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa's facial services. Enjoy the tranquility and deep relaxation while giving your skin a rejuvenating glow. All facials are tailored to your individual needs using the highest quality ingredients designed to give you healthy, radiant, and younger-looking skin. Visit any one of their 8 Seattle Hand and Stone Massage and Facial Spa locations or book online at handandstone.com. Restrictions apply. See spa for details.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Homeowner opens the door to a beating by a naked woman with a frying pan. Meanwhile, a man handing out chocolates on Random Acts of Kindness Day gets thrown in the can. Cocaine leopard showing soon at the Cincinnati Zoo. An SUV makes sure with a podcast that gets a front row view. And a drunk driver complains to police about their pesky bright lights. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, our top story, we go to Illinois where one woman couldn't help but complain. She was headed for home for the night when she happened upon an officer that was conducting a traffic stop of a suspected drunk driver and felt that she needed to stop and confront the officer. Her complaint? The lights of his car were too bright. You know, those flashing blue and red and white lights. They're just too bright.
Did it get your attention?
Yeah, that's right. Unfortunately for her, the officer quickly noticed her slurred speech, bloodshot eyes, and terrible odor of alcohol emanating from her car, and asked her to perform a few field sobriety tests, all of which she failed. She was then arrested for herself for drunk driving.
I know they have to do the field sobriety test, but,
Oh, yeah.
When you open the door and you fall out, okay, do we still have to do the test? Or can we just, come on.
Man, you already know that you're driving drunk, you're driving impaired. Maybe she blacked out and just didn't think about it. But
sure.
Really, you're going to draw attention to yourself from the cops? How does your gut not drop when you've had a shot and you're behind the wheel?
And then give them grief because the lights are too bright. You kind of missed the entire point of all of this.
Exactly.
We know they're bright, ma'am. It's kind of on purpose.
Right.
Dummy.
It's too bright.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, your eyes are having a little trouble focusing?
Yeah, because I'm hammered. I don't need these bright lights distracting me.
I wasted. Damn it. To Virginia, where one homeowner had an interesting night. The report goes that in the middle of the night, the man heard a commotion coming from the downstairs and went to investigate, finding a nude woman in his kitchen. All right. Who had made her way in through the back door.
Oh.
A confrontation.
It's getting really bad, Mike.
Damn, just go for it right away.
You didn't strike me as the type, but you do you, bro.
No foreplay needed.
Just come on in. Oh, Lordy. A confrontation began between the two that included the woman beating the homeowner with a frying pan before being pushed back out the door. Her assault continued, which ended with her getting shot in the leg by the homeowner. She was taken in for medical examination before being arrested.
He tried to get her out of the house, and she kept banging on the door, and then she'd banging on the window, and after that, he just took a gun and
Exactly. It's just popping out.
Down goes Frazier.
You think that's what he said? And in order to Schwarzenegger, down goes Frazier.
She was saying that thing, I can bring home the bacon.
Then he stood over like a WWE wrestler. A man in Ontario was investigated by police with the purest of intentions. We covered this a little earlier. He was tracked down after a report came in that he had tried to give a couple young kids a box of chocolates. They declined the offer from the strange man in the car, like they ought. They ought to there, but he insisted, saying they could give them to their mother if they didn't want them. Officers followed the trail back to the man's home and found out that the kids weren't the only two to be offered the sweet treat, but he was merely participating in Random Act of Kindness Day and had handed out several boxes to people varying in ages.
Quick side note, though, I understand his heart was pure, but when a kid turns you down for the candy, the worst thing to do is bring up his mother.
Well, maybe your mother would like
Maybe your mommy wants it.
Like every red flag that kid has is like, I don't like this guy.
Well, and
see, Mike's back to me. Tase him.
There you go.
Hit him.
Well, and just don't take candy from strangers. I feel like that's literally what they say.
You absolutely say this to your children.
Right.
So the random act of kindness, it would be different. Set it up like the Girl Scouts. If you were outside of a storefront
Here you go.
where there are plenty of witnesses and you have boxes of it,
right? That's
different.
And I understand you're
but
trying
pulling
to be
up
random,
in your car to a kid walking home, like this is not good.
No, it is not.
When I was a kid once, right, like our baseball team was not playing. We were done. My cousins were playing on the same field. We're on the playground. Some dude rolls up in like I don't know, it was Knights of Columbus. You can see he's kind of in gear. Has a box of candy, and he just is like, "Here, kids," and just tosses it. So we all pick it up. But I remember our parents being like, "You really shouldn't eat that." It's like, I think he was just getting rid of it.
Right.
But even then, I remember my mom being like, "Where did you get this candy? Why do you guys all have it?"
I told you, man, the kids now get booed on Halloween. Someone leaves a bag of candy, and I'm like, who the hell did this?
Tip for your headlines with that, Mike Hawk us out.
Big Johnny tomorrow. The head chef's back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. We'll see you then.
Yes, indeed. In the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds or so. So until then, please do what you do best, and for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.
You diet, you work out, and still there's that one stubborn spot. Hey, it's Jason. I just went after my stubborn fat by doing cool sculpting at Tureen Dermatology, Minnesota's top cool sculpting provider. Dr. Tureen is my dermatologist. We froze my fat, and those fat cells are gone for good. FDA approved. No pain, no downtime. Ranked top doctor 8 years in a row. Trust the experts at Tureen Dermatology. Call today, 651-633-6883, and say goodbye to stubborn fat.
What you watch depends on what kind of mood you're in. Sometimes you're craving comedies like Friends or South Park, and sometimes you're more into dramas like HBO's Succession and House of the Dragon. There's also cooking shows like Chopped and Beat Bobby Flay, and even movies like The Lord of the Rings and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Well, Max is the streaming destination that has the best of entertainment for whatever mood you're in anytime. And plans start at as little as $9.99 a month. Max, the one to watch. Subscription required. Visit Max.com.
T-Mobile's network can help keep you connected to all your favorite podcasts when you're out and about. Whether you're an early bird looking to dive into a daily news podcast or a night owl who wants to catch up on the latest reality TV drama, T-Mobile will keep you connected on their strong and reliable network. T-Mobile covers more highway miles with 5G than anyone. So if you need great coverage, especially when you're on the go, check out T-Mobile. Find out more at T-Mobile.com/CY. That's SEEWHY.
If you're a contractor, it's now easier for you to do business with the Department of Labor and Industries. Go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line and make an appointment with us ahead of time. No waiting around, no wasted time away from your job site. You get in, get out, and get on your way. Easy. So contractors, just go to lni.wa.gov/skip the line to make an appointment and get back to doing what you do best.